are getting ready for Carlton and the Gold Coast. BT's about to take us through a ripping preview of this game with Joey Montagna, Wayne Carey, Ash Chua, of course, Jay-Z. Damo, before we let you go, another story we need to just quickly touch on with you involved Luke Beveridge and Paul Roos. Tell us about that.
We've noticed Luke Beveridge liking to square up Jimmy. He had a go at the AFL the previous week when they put certain protocols around boxing and he didn't like it. And out of nowhere during the week, he referenced some comments made by Paul Roos about a month ago, coinciding with Jamara Ugle-Hagan having his debut game of football. So Paul Roos, on a podcast called Back to the Bench, had this to say when Jamara Ugle-Hagan was about to play his first game.
Well, he's not in great form either, so it's a really surprising decision for the Bulldogs to make. Well, he played against North Melbourne, and a couple of players I spoke to and the coaches said he was terrible. It's a really, really, really surprising decision.
So that was said on this podcast that no one seemed to pick up on or hear at the time. But Luke Beveridge was made aware of it, clearly was aware of the contents of it, and this week, out of effectively nowhere, had this to say in response.
We never set out to hold our players back. We want to give them opportunities, and it got to the point where we thought it was time to play him. Even then when we played him, there was some really disappointing comments made by a former senior coach who's contracted at another club in a consultancy role as to what some of the players and coaches had said to him about Mara's performance in a scratch match, and that he shouldn't have been playing AFL footy. Well, I think we know what's best for our players, and our program and our people who work in it do an outstanding job.
He's holding his ground there, Jim.
In a consultancy role.
In a consultancy role, paid role. So, no.
Managed to get that one out?
I've copped that from Luke Beveridge over the journey. He does like to highlight people's or issues he has with people. Anyway,
where do you sit on it, Damo?
Look, I'd rather have that topic through yourself, Doug. I mean, you analyse this space. You look at the key forwards coming into the game and all the big-name players coming into the game. He's played the 4 games, 6 goals, 3 of those came in one game.
I'm more about the comments from Roosie and then the comments from
Bevo. Yeah. Look, Roosie's allowed to make those comments, of course, and so too is Beveridge in response.
When he got picked for his first game, Damo, he came off was it a 1 or 2 possession game in the VFL?
I think it was that little, yeah. It was. And look, Paul Roos can say whatever he wants to say. And
so can Luke Beveridge.
Yeah, exactly. They're both not wrong. And I just love the fact that Beveridge, out of nowhere, because no one had picked up on Paul Roos' comments to begin with. So, but Duck, is he going to play a role? In your eyes, let's remove all that personality out of it. Let's have a look at Jamari Ugle-Hagan. In the 4 games he's played, is it enough for you to think he'll play the remaining 3 and then the finals?
Well, right now he needs a fully fit, functioning forward line for him to play a role there. He can't be anywhere near a main target. For instance, if a Norton or someone like that was out of that team, then too much focus goes on him. He literally is their last pick player in that forward line if he was to play a role in there. Now we know he's got natural talent. The only games I've only seen him play. I saw him play 1 live game in the VFL, and I've seen him play a couple of his senior games, 1 on TV and 1 live. For me, it's about work rate with him. You know what I mean? You can tell he's got natural talent. It's taken him a little bit. Some other players, Joey, that have come straight in and they seem to pick up the pace of it. He's probably, I reckon, just half a yard off it.
Yeah, I think he's certainly got the talent. I think we'll see him play a couple more games. I wouldn't be surprised come finals. We know Bevo loves to throw the magnets around, pick guys in and out. I wouldn't be surprised if he brings in someone that he can trust a bit more with some forward pressure and a bit more intensity and effort in a final than Jamara Ugle-Hagan. But I think we've certainly seen enough to know he's going to be a special player. Yeah. And they've got the luxury of not having to force him to get games. He can play and take his time and develop nicely, and he'll slot in alongside Norton and Bruce as the seasons go on. But I think...
Was it as much a mental realignment as it was a physical get lots of ball realignment, if you know what I mean?
I think there were 3 parts to it. One, certainly from our understanding, is mentally he needed time to mature, which a lot of 18-year-olds do. They need to understand the caper of AFL. Secondly, there was a lot of talk about his fitness, and he didn't have the tank as a young key forward or half forward to be able to play at AFL level. And thirdly, they didn't need him. They were winning games of football. They were flying without Jamara Ugle-Hagan. So there was no pressure to pick him because of performance.
What he could do, Damo, is he actually could be that player, like I said, if they've got a fully fit forward line. And if you slightly underestimate him, it could be that player that just bobs up and kicks 3 or 4 in a final or 3 in a big game.
All right, that concludes that little conversation. Anything else to leave us with, Damo?
Just that Paddy Dangerfield, BT, was discharged from hospital this morning. He's got a bruising around that region where Toby Green struck him, and that will be obviously the focus of a match review adjudication at some stage of today, maybe even before this game finishes. So there's a bit to play out there, and yet to get the official results of scans on that problem area.
Thank you very much, Damien Barrett there on Triple M Football. By the way, in the Olympics, USA leading France 4 points into the third quarter there, about halfway in, so reasonable game. Let's get stuck into this game here. Ream is Australia's favourite hot water with over 80 years of manufacturing in Australia. Ream has been building Aussie tough water heaters for Aussie families and Aussie conditions with a massive range, including 6-star energy efficient models. Ask a plumber to install a Ream. Jay-Z is downstairs for us for Bob Jane Team Arts. Jay-Z, good afternoon and welcome to you.
Yes, good afternoon, Brian. Look, we know the situation for Carlton is tough to hear. If it's going to sneak into 8th spot, needs to win its 3 last games. Of course, that is Gold Coast today, Port Adelaide away next week, and then round 23 should be a beauty against a GWS. Charlie Curnow in his second game today, Brian, you'll have your peepers on him. 8 possessions and 1 goal last week. Harry Mackay should have the Coleman medal stitched up now, 10 goals ahead of Tommy Hawkins, of course. It's going to be interesting to see how the Blues play today. They were much better against St Kilda last week, and for Gold Coast, well, maybe we give them an excuse, a leave pass last week, Brian, because they were snap Queensland lockdown. They hurried down to Melbourne. They got their cold dinner after 10 o'clock, still being COVID tested after midnight, and they were deplorable in a 98-point loss to Melbourne. They're not going to get that same excuse or lead pass today against Carlton. They've got to be much, much better. Otherwise, the pressure will certainly ramp up on its coach, Stuart Jude.
Jay-Z, groin on its ice.
Groin on its ice. Ice on groin, I think I tried to say, JB.
What happened there?
Sometimes I get confused, it's fair to say, James, and I like to provide a bit of levity and entertainment. Hey, the subs today.
You're turning into, I'm confused.
Mark Murphy in his 299th game, potentially his 300th next week over there in Adelaide.
How does this sit with you, Jay-Z?
Yep.
He's been carried there. He's the last 4 or 5 games. He's medical sub, etc. 299 today. He's probably going to get another one next week.
Yep.
How does it fit and sit with you?
I think it's the right thing to do, Brian. I think as a respected great of this club, I think they need to treat him with respect and get him to that milestone. I think a 300 game means a lot to the players he's played with and the club. I would hate to have seen him stranded on 297 games. And with a young team under a lot of pressure, I think someone of his experience can offer a bit.
Yeah, I'm slightly different, but on a similar, and that is that if you're a long way from 300, that is if you're at 295 or 294, I think that's a long way to carry a player. I think if you're 297, you're quite right. Carry them for the 2 or 3 games, get them there. They absolutely deserve that.
So which one are you?
Well, he's probably in between that somewhere as to when he started as the medical sub, and dragging him across the line. Were they doing it a couple of weeks before he actually was made the medical sub as well?
I think the only problem I have with it, if he's medical sub all the time, is that if you get to the 300, I'm sitting back saying, didn't really play 300.
Yep.
He has played the medical sub, though.
No, this one, I know that.
In the end, it's got to fit with him,
What I'm saying, you're looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, I really didn't play 300 if you're sitting as a sub all the time.
It's starting to feel that way. So I would have liked to have been in the best 22 today. Start him in the 22, put someone else as the sub and make it actually a respectable 300
Thank
games.
you.
The Red Z Lending Stats, Ash Chua, good afternoon, and we welcome you today to Marvel Stadium.
Good afternoon, BT. These are the concerns for the Suns. Their last 6 quarters, they've been outscored by 174 points. You look at the contested ball differential, they're 18th in the comp. Past 4 matches, they've lost a contested ball by 25. And flicking over to the Blues, over the past 4 weeks, number 1 rated player in the AFL, averaging 32.
The Mac family has arrived at Macca's. Get a free limited edition glass with every medium or large Mac family meal. All right, Seabus Super Special comments.
The kids got the big family meal last night, actually.
Did they?
While I was down at Geelong. Actually, good to see you here, too, man. He went to the Cattery last night.
Yeah, it's a bit of a breakdown in communication, BT. Yeah, whilst the rest of the commentary team were from the studio.
Mind you.
And he was easily bought off today by receiving the Macca's VIP card.
It goes a long way, BT. It certainly does.
Very good. But just like last night, BT, you probably come into this game thinking, OK, Carlton in the form they're in, they get the job done. I'm not so convinced. I think that if this Gold Coast Suns come with an attitude the same as what GWS did last night, I think it's game on, because the Blues have only they haven't beaten any world beaters. at this point in the last 5 or 6 weeks.
All right, we're set to go. Carlton and the Gold Coast about to get underway. Umpires today, Alex Wethotton, Nathan Toner and Jacob Mollison. Here's James Brayshaw on Triple M Football.
All right, just a little bits of me and quite a lot of you, Bristol, as we get this one done. We've got the Gold Coast Suns. Carlton here as De Koning jumps nice and high. Kennedy with a fend off Took Miller and then a high one to half forward. It's going to bounce on green grass right on the paint. And a holding free kick is going to go to Powell, who slid in without the footy. At centre half back, it is Carlton going to the Coventry end and he fans it wide to Ellis and then a short one to Lemons.
Yes, Ellis back into the side this week, JB. Wasn't part of the shocking situation of last week on this ground. Here's a short one from Ballard. Played quite well last week, Charlie Ballard. High ball up there, couldn't be marked by King, who really never got near it last week either. Didn't get a lot of supply, of course. On half-forward boundary, throw in. Marvel Stadium's the venue for this one today. Under roof, no one here. Weird as De Koning to do the ruck work. And he'll get in a really good position to work it down with the left arm. Spills to Ellis. So Brandon Ellis around the corner with a high ball. A searching ball inside 50. Up they fly. No winner in the air. An opportunity here for Plowman at ground level. Newman was there as well. Over the line, out of bounds on the full, in fact. And it'll go the way of
the Blues, I reckon, Bristol.
Yep.
It's only early, but
Newman.
Ellis looks like he's really running. He said he had last week off running on top of the ground.
Gets it to Plowman. The pinkest boots in the game. He goes long down the line. Almost for Martin. Good mark. Taken in front of Powell. Jack Martin. And he goes short to Walsh. And Walsh can pick off Kennedy. Not far enough, so he's got to go and release quickly. He does, looking for Williamson. Nice ball. Gets to him at half forward. And he punches one low straight to Powell, who drops what he should have taken, in and out of the hands. And then he wraps Martin up. Ball up inside forward 50 for the Blues. No score yet. Wayne Carey and Joey Montagna doing the special comments for Seabus.
Should have gobbled that up, Powell. It was an easy one. Silvani did the ruck work last week. He's got the job again this week, Jack Silvani. Out wide, Plowman trying to gather this ball. He will hope for the boundary line, and he will in a race with Corbett there, Ronnie. And it goes over the line, out of bounds. We'll throw it in again. Half forward here for Gold Coast.
Tom, here, guys.
Needs to be much improved this week. I think it was Joey that said that. Might have been Jay-Z. Oh, that's a bad throw in. Throw in from the umpire. Went off course and short and all sorts of things. Ed Kerner able to pick it up. Avoid the tackle by pushing away on him. Got the little kick around the corner. High ball on the head of Silvani. Got a couple to compete with there. Knocked to ground. Picked up fast hands Noah Anderson. Spills to Lemons. Lemons got the little handball away. So Gold Coast, all of this happening at half back. Here's Farah out the corner of the eyes. He sees Ellis.
Did nicely too, Jai Farah.
Stand, play on. Me.
Ellis.
Okay.
To the outer side. Ainsworth, I think it is, and he'll go back and find Ballard inside defensive 50. And then they'll bring it all the way to the broadcast side, Lukosius.
Outside 5, play on. You. Yeah.
Loves to take that kick on to Anderson. Beautiful by foot, Lukosius.
Me.
And then Anderson can come towards us, and Jeremy Sharp to half forward. They've worked this pretty nicely, actually. Corbett.
Play on.
Kick and a half from home, called to go. Does quickly. Collins. McPherson just outside 50.
Stay out, Jeremy. Keep out, Jeremy. Play on.
And he goes into the pocket looking for King. Hands extended, couldn't hang on to it. And over for a boundary throw-in.
Gee, ignored Townsend then, who was in a really good spot.
Yeah, first game, Townsend, for his 4th AFL club.
Wow.
Bring a bit of hardness to this forward line, bit of forward pressure.
How come you didn't mention that, Ash? How come Duck was arriving first?
Ash is still coming back from Geelong.
Little ball here. He's
still in the chariot, Ash.
Still taking a look at the black VIP card. He's wondering how to use that. Just farm it off this way, Ash. Boundary, ball up here, about 35 metres out from the Gold Coast goal. No scorers yet. We've played some 4 minutes already, and that's out of bounds on the full. So it'll be a free ball to Noons in the back pocket here for the Blues.
Smithy.
It was a positive start, though, by the Gold Coast Suns, particularly with their ball movement. Carlton want to just tighten up their team defence.
Kick into Plowman, couldn't get down enough to mark it. Now they're under real pressure. 3 Gold Coast players surround it. Sexton had it, left it, and rarely handballs at Sexton, in fact. Sard, high footy. Mackay's there. He's come a long way up the ground, off hands. Over the line, out of bounds. Half forward, still for Gold Coast.
So not off to a rollicking start, this one.
No, we're going to see how the Gold Coast want to use the football. They're going to try and take those uncontested marks, build it up, make Carlton defend.
We're 5 minutes in, Duck, without a score in the game as the ball's thrown in.
I'm not sure we will see that build up, Joey.
To the front. Dow with a little handball. Mr. Koning went back and got it again, Dow. And then went without the ball. Took Miller having a magnificent season. Gave it to Lemons. High ball inside 50. King will be the target all day. Got good hands to it. Couldn't hang on. Got it at ground level. Townsend now. Round the body. This is going to work to Ellis. Slides in, takes the mark. And those two would have spent some time at Richmond together, I suggest, Ash, Townsend and Ellis.
Premiership players back in 2017.
What he had already, Ellis?
Ellis for Triple M Reds had 3 disposals and 3 marks.
So coming up for his 4th.
Yep.
So Brandon Ellis about 35 out, not much angle.
Normally happens when you've had 3.
Hopefully kick the first goal of the game. Should from here. Oh, it looked okay. It's there. It's there for Ellis. First of the day for the Gold Coast Suns. They are one straight. Carlton haven't scored. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
That's a nice adjustment on the run there, JB. I reckon you were just thinking...
It looked a bit left to me, but then it
You were
just
very
came
good.
back.
It did. It was a good start. As I said, I think the Gold Coast Suns will be really pleased with their start, Duck. They've controlled the football. They've controlled time in front half. What's that at, Chew? They've had certainly more ball in their front half at the moment.
Yeah, 73%. Blues only at 27.
So Carlton on the back foot early and a positive start for Gold Coast.
Bristol, we haven't seen a lot of Gold Coast live, and Matt Rails has come on. They're the highest pants I've ever seen on the football.
The notebook, he tucks the notebook in there.
They're under his armpits.
Keeps him tight, he's high, and he's a real old style operator, isn't he? You know, notebook and rather than computer and the pants.
Yes,
very high. A very strange operation. Back in the middle we go here now. So Gold Coast buy a goal. Have a listen to this. Oh boy, it's quiet at the footy these days. Opportunity in the middle for the big fella, Zach Smith. Didn't really make any contact. To Koning there as well. Able to pick up the ball now to Koning. He was upended though by Took. Miller. Opportunity for Cripps. Couldn't make it work. McPherson, little sneaky kick out of the pack. Handball comes. Here they go. Miller slicing little ball and a good kick by Miller ends in the waiting arms here of Gold Coast. And they will line up for goal. 15-minute mark. They are up by a goal. And this looks like Ronnie Corbett.
Yeah, Ronnie Corbett.
That was a good contest by the 2 number 18s in the middle. The 2 young fellas, wasn't it?
So Duck just calling them by number, the 2 18s.
Well, we all know who they are.
There's Corbett. Corbett from 45 with a high ball across the face. And not even any score in the end. In fact, goes over the line and out of bounds. Throw it in deep in the Gold Coast attack zone. Ash, inside 50s at the moment. They must be crushing them.
Well, it's 4-2 in favour of the Suns, but time in possession, Suns at 70%.
Corbett, of course, from North Warrnambool. Very, very special brand of bogan they breed down there, Joey. As around the corner of Walsh. Unable to get it past Sharp. Might have caught the clip. McPherson came in, ball out.
So they are actually going, Rowell and Walsh are going head-to-head at all the stoppages, Joey.
Yeah, it's good to see. Rowell came off the bench, went towards Walsh. It's not a tag, but he's certainly going to play on him. He needs to find his best form, Matty Rowell. He just hasn't hit his stripes.
And just for you, BT, they both wear 18.
Good. I'll look forward to the battle of 18s.
55 out from Gold Coast goal. Smith just worked it down.
Not Vanderhaar.
Came to Fiorini, but bounced out of there by the Blues. Here is Walsh.
Or Carey.
Walsh a high one. Down the wing. Charlie Curnow had it taken from him. Sharp. Got it back to Lukosius. And he goes for King, who had a couple to beat in the air and wasn't able to do it. Ball out of play right near the interchange gates here at Marvel. One straight Gold Coast. Carlton haven't scored. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
Just the early signs, sorry, BT. We wanted to see whether Carlton could replicate their pressure of last week against St Kilda. So far, just the 2 tackles in the game for the Blues.
Ash, just keep an eye on Sexton today. Handball kick ratio. Just want to have a look at that. Not a real handball happy person. Opportunity here now for Ballard. He's in the back half. He's being pursued, but he's got plenty of help. Collins, who's a real good half-back, full-back sort of operator. Like in the Taylor last night. Very similar in a way.
Old-fashioned stylist.
Kennedy there. Got rid of the handball. Tried to burst through. Lukosius. Little handball over the top, and a free will go against Gold Coast here. So Walsh has a bit of a win. He's one of the 18s. This is 18. Sam Walsh.
Walsh.
Sam Walsh. From 60 out, goes deep into the pocket. Charlie Curnow setting himself with this over the back. Bats right on the boundary line. Charlie got in his row. Let's go downstairs. Bob Jane, team ask Jay-Z.
Really tough day for Ben King last week on Stephen May. Just the 3 possessions. Got one early touch against Jacob Wiedering, but his matchup not any earlier this week against Carlton, BT.
There is a reason behind the Blues orange socks, Jay-Z. I'll get you to remind us why they're wearing it in just a second. Smith to the front. Rowell, a little quick release. Lukosius over the top. Fiorini's having a good season.
How many times, Stu-Man, as a defender, Wiedering played on 2 twin brothers 2 weeks in a row?
Yeah, that's a great question, Doug.
Ainsworth to Corbett, and then he got it back. He goes to one of those twins. Ben
First
King.
time ever.
Anderson. Streaming forward here, Gold Coast, just outside 50, Sexton. And Sexton goes to Ellis, who's had a bright start to this game.
He could kick it from there, JB.
All right, Brandon Ellis, he's just outside 50. And I'm absolutely staggered at the amount of Gold Coast names I've got right so far. We're 55 from home. Don't expect that to continue if you're listening 105.1 style. Ellis has the only goal of the game so far. And he is 55 out directly in front. Take a good kick from here. Those orange socks, Jay-Z?
It's for Carlton respects JB, of course, respecting all people, men and women. Of course, it's a campaign about domestic violence and curbing that in the community.
Fished it through. Thank you very much for that, Jay-Z. So 1-1-7 to no score. Gold Coast up.
And Brandon Ellis turning around and looking at the big scoreboard at the other end while he was having a set shot goal is just dumb. It says to the umpire you're wasting time, and for what reason? Mackay comes in, I don't know. Mackay has a win at ground level. A funny little ball to Ed Curnow, caught his fingers, might have got a chopper there, and now Townsend goes wide and finds an opportunity here out wide with Fiorini. Fiorini, short ball to Townsend. Townsend getting a bit of the footy early here. Finds Ellis. It was stupid before, Brandon. I'm not sure why you did that, because the umpire can call play on if he thinks you're wasting time deliberately, even though you've got the 30 seconds to set up. It's no right to have the 30. Swallow on the wing. High footy. Very, very high. Not a lot there. Wiedering flew. Had both hands on it. Couldn't reel it in the end. And in the back, and I think Wiedering will come up with the free as a result of a careless one from Townsend.
So Wiedering from half-back. Very slow play here for the Blues, who have not jumped out of the blocks, it has to be said. Goes long for Mackay, that's almost, and it's paid. Chopping the arms. So Big Harry from the wing. Short ball's good, finds Curnow. He goes inboard. Newman, centre of the ground. To half forward, look to Fisher, couldn't find him. In and out of his hands, Kennedy. Good pick up, back to Newman. Back inside they go. Martin. Ball carried him and out of play.
Come through, Mike.
Going to be thrown in about 35 around from the behind post, Coventry end.
I'm watching it.
And Carlton need a score.
Two-man, Anderson's numbers.
Leading ball winner on the ground, 8 disposals and a couple of clearances.
Please.
That's on the Red Z Lending stat sheet. Boundary throw in. De Koning takes it out of the ruck. He handballs off. Rao was looking for the give and go from Swallow, but Swallow had a fumble. Walsh of Carlton able to pick it up now. Left foot around the corner, goes back inside 50. High ball from Martin, did well to spoil. Spills to Ellis, he was a little nervy. Gave the handball down here to Ballard, and Ballard goes very, very wide. Free kick will be played to Gold Coast here, and I think it's Sharp. It is. So Sharp in the back, deep in the back half. Not the required journey, the short kick to Fiorini. So he has to play on and hoik one up and link it out to Collins. Collins takes the mark, and they're away here now. Gold Coast off half back. Powell it was, got the ball further afield. Now in the hands of Ainsworth. Almost on the wing. Neat little ball up the sidelines. Finds Sexton.
On the wing. Sexton. That's not a great ball. Out of bounds on the full missed Corbett. Yes, Jay-Z?
Hey, JB, can only assume Carlton not happy with this start. Carlton assistant coach Dale Amos has just come down to the Carlton bench, shaking his head, not looking happy at this stage. I think the Blues want more in this start from the troops.
That'll scare
flat. They just look flat. Thump over the line. Lemons got involved in it, so did Powell.
You a little scared, Duck, wouldn't you?
And the ball's going to be thrown in right in front of Jay-Z.
Still got 8 players that haven't touched the ball for the Blues, including Paddy Cripps, yet to have a disposal. They've played 15 minutes in this first quarter.
Not great, is it?
Ball in. Silvani. got it down to Nunes and a tumbling ball to half forward. Charlie Curnow couldn't hang on. His brother had a little look at it as well as Powell. They're not letting him out, Ed. And it's going to be a ball up.
Thanks, guys.
They look as flat today as they looked sharp last week, Joey.
Absolutely they do. Only still the 4 tackles, Carlton, halfway through the first quarter after having 79 against the Saints.
Battle of the little men in the ruck. It was like the Little League. Everyone gets a go. Silvani and Townsend there. Get it inside 50. Charlie Curnow around the corner. Kicks a beauty.
Nice.
His first goal back last week was a ripper. And I tell you what, that one was equally as good. Not quite as far out, but it was a beauty. And in the time of great need, scoreboard reads 1 goal, Carlton 1-1-7 the Gold Coast. And in terms of basketball, the USA up by 10 points in the gold medal match with 8 minutes remaining.
Triple M Harvey Norman replay. A touch of class from Charlie Curnow. We saw the goal last week outside 50 off one step. This time he just let the traffic all go past him. He held his composure and then off half a step, screwed it around the body. It was half a snap, half a drop punt. Took a class finish to get the Blues on the board because they have been scratchy early.
Thanks, guys.
Trail by just a point after that Charlie Curnow goal. And we're back in the middle. Good to see Charlie Curnow, by the way, back playing footy. He's missed way too much for a very talented young man. Smith, de Koning.
Very quiet.
It is quiet, Brian. No one here, so it's sort of it's enthusiasm we have to generate. Walsh out of the middle, dribbles it. Sharp just couldn't hang on to it out wide, and then gives it off to Farah, who got a handball sort of tumbling forward all the way back to Sharp, who could not keep the ball in. And it's going to be thrown in, out of side, half forward for the Blues.
People may be wondering why we don't have some effects in the back, JB. It's not as easy as it sounds, and well, Channel 7 will give it to us on a Friday and a Sunday. Fox won't give us
Why is that?
any access on a Saturday for some reason. They treasure their little effects box. So stay with us.
That's your mob, Joey.
Do the best we can possibly do. Joey should be able to get it fixed. He's on that many shows, JB, down
Yes.
there. He's on the War Room, the Peace Room, all these rooms, the stretch, the short mile, the long mile. And he's in charge of them all, Joe. Every time I turn on, Joey's on. A lot of shows talking about a minimal amount of football. Opportunity handball out the back, Sharp. Little one here to Walsh.
And Sharpie might have copped one around the bonds.
Yeah. And a free kick going to Sharp, JB.
I think might have been Cripps, just gave him a little crusty. So McPherson could go short to Sharp. That hasn't gone far enough. He brings it across the face, and Powell takes it inside 50. Wants to bite off a corridor ball. It's a good one too. Got Collins. Oh, he just kicks an absolute sack. Made work by Swallow, but his ball wasn't great, although Cripps dropped the mark he probably should have taken. All the way back to Lukosius by hand. Now a long ball inside 50.
Wow,
and
good.
Ainsworth is all on his own in the pocket.
That's a beautiful kick. He's got all the different kicks, hasn't he? That one just hard and low, got there very quickly.
Ben, 3 metres, please.
That's just superb. The coach obviously came to the club as a forward BT, and they've put him in defence. He's a star.
Benny
He really
Ainsworth.
is.
Got time, hasn't he?
Yep.
Balance.
Morwell. Benny. He's going to go with a check side, outside of the boot banana. And it's never getting there. Way too narrow. Behind. 1-2-8 Gold Coast. 1 straight 6 Carlton. Triple M IGA Liquor Scoreboard.
Red Z lending stats, Ash, loans for the self-employed. Where are we going after this on Triple M football?
To the MCG, Richmond taking on the Kangaroos.
And then after that, is there another one?
There is St Kilda v Sydney here at Marvel BT tonight.
Get excited. Triple header on Triple M football today. Ball's on centre wing here, goes over the line out of bounds. Sharp can't stop it, right near the interchange area. So 1-2-8 the Gold Coast. Carlton 1 straight goal here on the Triple M IGA Liquor Scoreboard. Proudly local, proudly independent. Let's see if the little boundary umpire can get it right this time and get it back in the required 18 metres, and he does a good job. Excellent. Smith now turns around as he takes it out of the ruck. Bombs it inside 50. Deep ball. Plowman went back bravely, but dropped the mark. Now's got the ground level work to do as well. King put his head over the ball, came up with it, kick around the corner, and he misses. Minor score, so 1-3-9. Gold Coast outplaying the Blues at the moment. 1 straight on the IGA Liquor Scoreboard.
Why would the ruckman, Joey, take clean possession and then not handball it?
That's a good point, because they don't think too quickly. So he did the hard part. He grabbed the ball. All he had to do was give it to a midfielder. He had plenty of time and space. They get a bit excited. JB.
He had two of them, by the way. Two midfielders running for him, and he ignored them both.
Stand.
Stocker.
Play on. You.
The barber, he obviously got to for the week and a half that you could. Handball now over the top for Nunes. High contact advantage will be paid, and Cripps just walks past Touk Miller and then inside 50 with a high one. Charlie Curnow unable to hang on. He was in really good shape. Fisher flicked it to Silvani. Silvani squaring ball on the left is really good. De Koning about 40 out directly in front.
Just looking at Charlie Curnow, when he's played a bit of footy, he'll mark that. I mean, he got two hands to it, should have hung on. But that's where Jack Silvani's improved his game. He now does the basics really, really well.
To give the Blues the lead, De Koning from almost directly in front. And he makes the goal umpire work and misses to the right. Bad miss. 117-139. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
Interested in your comments, Duck. Does that mean he should stick to the basics, or he doesn't do the technicals well?
No, I think that's what he should stick to. I think he's become really good at that. His pressure has gone to a whole new level.
Kick into play, by the way, has been marked by Honey, who will line up for goal.
Yep, and I think it was Lukosius, was it, that turned it over, who we were just raving about. And I was just about to say, Joey, for a guy that only averages 21 disposals, he's a number 1 metres gain player in the comp.
Yeah, kicked that one straight to Honey, though, on that occasion.
Well, he gained some metres.
So Honey's got a 50-metre kick as a result of that poor kick. Right on the line. Famous family, of course.
Oh, yes.
Mum and Dad, very proud. Both great sportsmen in their own right. Man, that is a goal. He's nailed it. Got it, no problems at all. Honey. And they'll be jumping up and down about that one. So 139 Gold Coast, 2-113 the Blues. Honey kicks his first on the IGA Liquor scoreboard.
He hit it sweetly, didn't he?
He did. Nice, Stuck. Honey hit it sweet. I got it.
Not jumping up and down about that one. Bristol has worked in as well.
But it was a horrible kick in from Lukosius. You spoke about his talent, and that's the frustration, Duck, and that's a frustration for Stewie Jew. I mean, such a highly talented player. He's given the responsibility to kick the ball in. You've got to do a better job than that. He just tried to bite off a little bit too much, kicked it off the instep straight to Honey, and they've gifted Carlton a goal, despite really controlling big parts of this first quarter. They now trail.
I'll tell you what I did notice last night, and I don't know whether it's a theme, but it was really evident, those really hard punching kicks last night. GWS did a number of them. That's what Lukosius tried to do there. They just really try to drill it to the player, don't they?
Smith, De Koning in the middle. Smith down and then just hacked it to half forward. Works though.
1 metre, Tom.
Ainsworth.
Play on.
And he goes deep inside 50, looking for Swallow at ground level. Was unable to really effectively dispose of the ball. High one here for Sexton. Went back and tracked it. Got around O'Brien, but it's straight to Wiedering. Takes the relieving mark for the Blues.
The reason why I talk about those kicks, BT, those really hard, there's no room for error. None at all. So they're slightly off and they go past the player. The player can't adjust that's receiving at all.
Yep. Only got to be a metre offline. Here's Newman down the line, slides it and gets it out of bounds on the full. Just how are we going with the Sexton watch on handball kick ratio, Ash?
Yeah, 3 kicks, 0 handballs.
Right. Keep a close eye on that today. I'm not expecting it to change. Gold Coast to bring the ball back into play here. And the umpire demanding that the ball be on the line. Just don't worry about it, mate. That's a real technicality of the game. Spills now to Dow. Dow hasn't had a lot of it so far. Gave the handball off to Kennedy. Sard's involved in the play as well. Neat little kick around the corner. Probably not the required journey, although the umpire does pay it. And it's play on from that point in time now. As across the ground they come to Plowman. Plowman will gather the ball, true centre half back. Straight up the middle. There's an example of the low hard ball. Didn't leave a lot of break room for Williamson, but he accepts the mark. Just backward of the centre circle here, Williamson. Players pointing down the ground, so he just goes sideways and backs off. Newman. This is the frustrating part of the game today, is they get in a good attacking position, and even if they see a one-on-one, they don't want to take it. And the ball now in the hands of Ed Curnow.
I tell you, I don't know how much of it you watched, BT, as Martin takes it on the wing. The frustrating game for that is hockey. You watch any of the field hockey?
Yeah,
they get into good shape, and then they just throw it all the way back.
They do.
Drives you mad. Martin, short one here, looking for Betts, misses him. Curnow's had a bright start, just couldn't pick it up at ground level. Now he can. Inside the field to play. Charlie squaring ball for De Koning. Just had too much on it.
Contact, Gold Coast.
And the Gold Coast will receive a free kick deep in defence.
Time back on.
Given away by Tom De Koning. And they can waltz it out of the outer side. Long one there from Farah. Almost a good mark. Townsend. Ainsworth. Nice ball. Lukosius can run on. Stick a long one inside 50. King's out the back. Should be a simple mark. Jones did brilliantly well to get a hand in and break it up for a behind.
The kick was perfect. It really was. Jones.
Brilliant.
Speed and athleticism. I saw during the week, I think it was David King. Only joking, Joey. Should have seen him jump up. But his statistics one-on-one, Joey, I thought that was fantastic, by the way. But it just goes to show you how good a player Jones is.
He did so well not to give away the free kick with the front-on contact.
Little one here. Martin was involved earlier in the play. Now in the hands of Dow. Goes forward. Curno's got the one-on-one here, and he takes the mark. Although not paid. Kick at goal. He expected it to turn along the ground, and it didn't. He's about 30 metres out of minus score, but he's looking better. 2-2-14. Gold Coast 1-4-10 on the Triple M RGA Liquor scoreboard. By the way, USA up by 7 with 3.5 to go in the final quarter for the gold medal.
Didn't Joey jump up then when I said it was Kiggy that...
I didn't flinch. I'll tell you what it does look like, though. Charlie Curnow is looking like the class player on the football field. I know he hasn't had a lot of it, but every time he's near it, something good comes of it.
Good mark. Townsend out wide.
Not 15, play on.
Not 15 to Ainsworth. You heard it. He wheels and goes with a long ball.
Play on.
No one able to hang on to it wearing a Gold Coast jumper. Lots of Carlton players in the area. Kennedy, one of them. Centre half back. He drills one to Ed Curnow. Quick release handball. They get to half forward here, the Blues. Eddie Betts had a good piece of that and missed it. Went back and tracked it ground level. But coughed it up to Collins. Now Lukosius. And they steady things down out wide to Corbett.
So Corbett in the back pocket here for Gold Coast as we get down to the last minute and a half of this first quarter. It's been a little uninspiring, nevertheless close. 14 plays 10. Carlton, bit of a slow start. They lead it by the 4-point margin. And just possessing the footy here in the back half is Gold Coast now. Collins, their strong arm in defence, goes wide and finds Sexton. Sexton elects to kick, goes out wide. And punched away here by Williamson over the line out of bounds. Got a boundary throw in here. Half forward for the Blues. We've got a minute precisely left in this first quarter. Carlton by 4 points.
It's the only issue when you control the footy, isn't it, JB? If it gets into the wrong player's hands, who's not the most competent kick, you can get a little bit nervous.
Well, Smithy, stay right away from it. The Koning.
Play on.
Kennedy. Miller's got a piece of him. Good tackle from Took Miller. One, though, by Cripps. Gets around, Rail just straightens up. Cripps sticks it inside 50. Honey, diving mark. 40 from home, tightish angle.
30.
Josh Honey already has one. Good last week too, actually, Josh. I think hit the scoreboard. Certainly a heavy goal assist game from him.
2 goals he kicked last week, JB.
So he is starting to make a name for himself, which is good. Of course, Uncle Gary, silver medal in the long jump 1984, and then rhyming slang for when you need a number 2. High one from Honey. Nice! He's got 2 in the term, Josh Honey.
Boy.
And the Blues have kicked 3 in a row. 3-2-20, 1-4-10. Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard, and we've only got about 8 seconds left.
Well, this is what you want to see, some more youngsters getting opportunity. There's some Carlton fans probably thinking, why hasn't he played earlier? Because he's a beautiful kick for goal. That's 4 goals now already, Chew, as you said, in just over a game and a little bit. And he's had a couple of nice finishes, found some space both times, getting into the right spots, and it's been a good response by the Blues after being a bit shaky for the first 10 or 15 minutes. They've just got a bit of their game going in recent times and playing much better footy.
So a couple in a row for Honey, 3 in a row for the Blues. And on the back of that, they lead by 10 points going into quarter time on the IGA Liquor scoreboard. For McDonald and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. Umpire back in the middle. This is umpire Nathan Toner. He's a newie.
Haven't heard of him,
Just giving him a bit of a tester here today.
Nathan Toner.
Yep. He's doing a good job. Up they go in the middle. To Koning, knocked down. Clearance here will go with Gold Coast. Miller, so the mark will count, you would think. Here, high ball, and now the siren sounds. So quarter time here at Marvel Stadium. It's the Blues with an uninspiring first 15 minutes. Got going towards the end. 3-2-20 leading Gold Coast. 1-4-10 on the Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for IGA Liquor. Proudly local, proudly independent.
For Macca's 50th birthday,
Triple M rocks footy.
The Mac family has arrived at Macca's. Get a free limited edition glass with every medium or large Mac family meal.
Every Victorian AFL team has said no to sports gambling sponsorship. Together, we can make sure kids get to love the game, not the odds. Triple M rocks footy on Melbourne's 105.1.
Hi, it's Marty Sheargold from Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show, and right now, Triple M rocks football, and I'm back Monday morning from 6. Daisy Thomas.
Hey, you know that bloke who holds the target up behind the goals when Melbourne play?
Yeah.
What were you looking at when you were kicking a goal?
Most of my goals were on the run. Would the bullseye help? Probably not, but he thinks he's doing a great job.
Really?
It's going so well, no other team does it. So.
Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show. Weekdays from 6. Or hear it anytime on the new Listener app.
To celebrate 50 years of Macca's, we're introducing the Mac family. And with every medium or large, Mac Junior, Big Mac or Grand Big Mac meal, you'll get one of 6 free Macca's glasses, but only for a limited time. Available after 10:30am while stocks last.
Great deals on Intel-powered laptops now at Harvey Norman. Upgrade your portable workstation with the Acer Swift 3X, now $798, save $400. Save $200 on the Lenovo IdeaPad Slim laptop, built for entertaining and powered by an Intel Core i5 processor, now $898. Need performance and long-lasting battery? Save $500 on the Acer Swift 5, designed on Intel Evo platform. These deals on Intel-powered laptops plus more, now at Harvey Norman.
They say it's a jungle out there, but now that jungle is in your living room.
Everything that you see wants to kill you and can.
From Disney comes the all-new action-adventure Jungle Cruise, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Emily Blunt.
Haven't you been dreaming about adventure?
Experience a rollicking thrill ride through the Amazon on an epic quest like no other.
Hold on!
Disney's Jungle Cruise, now streaming on Disney Plus for an additional fee with Premier Access. Conditions apply. Visit disneyplus.com.
What can just 5 things reveal about someone? Hi, I'm Nigel Marsh, and in my podcast, The 5 of My Life, I ask well-known people about their favourite film, book, song, place and possession. Will Anderson, Matt O'Kine, the Commando Steve Willis and Gus Warland, amongst others, reveal a deeper side of themselves that has never been shared before. Search The 5 of My Life podcast, download the new Listener app now, and listen for free. Brought to you by Darryl Lee, making it better since 1927.
Listener. If you run a local business, us radio listeners would like a word.
A word about your garden centre sale.
A word about your new online store.
A word about your famous meat pies.
Because you've got the things we want.
But unless you advertise it, we won't know about it.
So get on the radio. Then it'll be your store we go to.
Your website we visit.
And your name we remember.
Come on.
We're all ears.
Advertise on radio and watch your business grow. For help with radio advertising, visit radioalive.com.au.
Get your Woolies worth with Everyday Rewards. Boost and spend $10 on fresh fruit and veg in a single transaction and collect 5 times points on your total shop. Offer ends 10th of August. Visit our website for full T's and C's. Celebrating Australian fresh. That's today's fresh food people.
Every Victorian AFL team has said no to sports gambling sponsorship. Together, we can make sure kids get to love the game, not the odds. Triple M rocks footy on Melbourne's 105.1.
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Beacon Trade. Supporting Sparkies with 7:30am opening hours, trade prices, click and collect and free delivery from over 100 Beacon lighting stores.
Yes, from McDonald's and Ring Hot Water, Triple M rocks football. Quarter time at Marvel Stadium. Carlton over Gold Coast by 10 points, 3-2-20. Gold Coast 1-4-10. Ash, let's get the Red Z lenders.
BT, Tuke Miller averaging 32 this year, only 4 disposals. Charlie Curnow, 3 touches, a couple of tackles and a major.
Bob Jane T-Marts, by the way, Bob Jane T-Marts, buy 3, get 1 free, instant cash back on Bridgestone, Continental, Pirelli and many more. bobjane.com.au, Jay-Z.
BT, just saw Carlton footy director Brad Lloyd come straight down the race. Went straight over to Charlie Curnow. Big pat on the back. They're clearly thrilled with his work rate and his polish, as Joey called throughout that first quarter. Early up in his second game back from 2 years out with those knee injuries. Absolutely wrapped with him. You just wonder, Gold Coast looking like they're trying to shift the ball and switch the ball on every attacking play. So the Carlton backline group just talking about clearly trying to shift over the other side of the ground when the Suns switch.
Jay-Z just roaming off a little bit there into Joey territory.
Just been the difference in the game at the moment is just efficiency, and at the moment Carlton more efficient in the key stats. they're about even. Inside 50s, contested footy, all of that. But Carlton, when they go forward, look more dangerous.
Yeah, well, the 5 shots apiece. It's just the Blues have kicked straighter. But Gold Coast have been able to control the ball, and that wouldn't be a great sign because 40 marks already the Gold Coast Suns have taken. So that's on track for 160. It's way too many. They know they can shift the ball and make Carlton defend. The problem is for Gold Coast, their last kick inside 50 at the moment has been long and high. We know Wiedering and Jones are two of the best defenders in the competition at stopping that ball. So if Gold Coast want to kick a score, they just need to find that last mark inside 50. Otherwise, they're doing a lot right. But the Blues just have that class edge at the moment.
Interesting when you have a wee here, it says you got a distance by 1.5 metres in a room that's 1 metre wide.
Yeah, and the urinals are only a half a metre apart.
Actually impossible to be that far from someone. Yeah. As we start this second term, 10-point lead to the Blues. First clearance almost for the Gold Coast, stripped of its swallow. It got past Martin, but it's at half forward here for Carlton. Lukosius, in fact, it was Anderson, worked off it. No, it was Lukosius, had it right the first time. Now Martin a fumble, and through comes Powell. Nice, neat young player. Good ball too to Corbett. Half forward here for Gold Coast. Not much ahead of him, so he allows Tuke Miller to run onto this footy. Just outside 50, he kicks a low dart to King. And he takes it 45 from home. So nice movement of the footy from half back to half forward from the Gold Coast Suns.
Yeah, perfect ball movement. It was Tuke Miller's work rate to get free at half forward, and then he didn't try and do anything above and beyond, Duck. He just saw the lead, hit the easy one, and then you give your forward a set shot at goal. That's all they ask for.
Going at 62% for his career.
Ben King, set shot for the second of the afternoon for the Suns, and he hung it out to the right, and it stayed there. So they are now 1-5-11 to 3-2-20. Triple M Beacon trade scoreboard.
And over the last 3 weeks, BT, I've watched Wiedering. He played on Larky and the King last week and King now. And the only way you don't get him in one-on-ones, you get him on the lead. It's got to be sideways movement up to the footy.
USA up over France, 5 points with about 8 seconds to go. So they've got the gold medal in hand. Here's to Koenig at half-back. Gives it off to Mackay. Neat little kick from Mackay. It missed Ed Curnow, though, on the wing. And now plenty of Gold Coast jumpers around, although they couldn't get hold of it. Now they do. Picked up in the end on that occasion. And Gold Coast moving the footy slickly forward here. Around the corner goes Sexton. High ball in there. Looking for Farah. Couldn't get him in the end and wanted to hold Did Newman, saying he held my arm. As the ball goes over the line out of bounds, we'll throw it in. So 25 metres around from the Gold Coast. Goalmouth here, 1-5-11, trailing Carlton 3-2-20. Let's see what they can do out of this stoppage. Deep in their forward end, Gold Coast. Zach Smith to do the ruck work. To Koenig there as well. Smith to the boundary line, and it goes back over the line out of bounds. We'll throw it in again, JB.
He's got Joel Jeffrey in the Bushnells. He's a very different looking Nipsey. Sort of Northern Territory Thunder styling. Got a very strange shag and tat arrangement. Ball in to Koenig with 2 fists to the front. Tuke Miller in the right spot, jams it through. Having an all-Australian year, Tuke Miller, and that was a very, very nice finish. Gold Coast get their second, 2-5-17. Carlton 3-2-20. Triple M Beacon trade scoreboard.
And Joey, surely the opposition put a little bit more time into Miller, given the year that he's had. You watch this, he just runs through that stoppage, not anyone putting any time whatsoever into him. And you're right, I mean, it's that time, All-Australian, he's got to be in the conversation.
Oh, he's a certainty for All-Australian, but that's off Sam Walsh. So, you know, Sam Walsh has copped a lot of praise this year, a lot of plaudits from everyone, and rightly so, but at a D50 stoppage, you've got to defend your man, particularly someone as hot as Tuke Miller this year. He just dropped off him, was looking for the handball, and Tuke Miller got the goal, so that was on Sam Walsh.
Yeah, averaging career-high disposals, Tuke Miller at 32 touches, 14 out of 18 games this season. He's recorded 30-plus disposals in a game.
Back within 3 points here. At the moment, Gold Coast, USA have won the gold medal in the men's basketball over France.
Play on.
Out of the middle it comes. Fiorini. Access to the footy, extracts it and kicks it long. King in a real wrestle there, spills to ground. Sharp, clever little knock on there. Now an opportunity here for Jeffrey. Jeffrey in the pocket, right foot snap. He refused to give the handball.
Just have a look at him, Bristle.
Came back on the right-hand side. He's a weird operator.
He's a very weird operator.
Yeah, it's got late night written all over him. 3-2-20. Gold Coast 2-6-18 on the Triple M scoreboard.
Father Russell played for St Kilda. Also played a state of origin game, BT, in 1990 for Victoria.
Yeah. Oh, I remember him.
Do you?
Oh, man, bloody oath. Long ball looking for and finding Cripps was good. And then off to O'Brien. to half forward. A big long banger looking for Harry Mackay. Didn't get to him. Collins, a decent defender.
South Australia.
Kept him away from it. Flipped here to Martin, who runs into a pile of defenders, and he ain't getting past Powell. Taking in a very good tackle and holding the ball.
I reckon he's a South Aussie.
Yeah, he played Victoria, though, in 1990. So, I don't... I mean, you played for 4 different states, didn't you? State of origin, so I don't know how it
But
works.
I think he might have played for South Australia after that. Yeah, very good player. Tough.
Will Powell, speaking of tough from the Claremont Footy Club Ducks, how they breed him there as Williamson takes this on the wing, and nice. You know it too, Bristol, from your WA roots.
I wouldn't have thought so.
It's they're just hard units.
Bayview Terrace, very dissimilar to Brighton.
Williamson inside 50. Silvani at the back, can't take it. And it's taken over by Collins. And a high contact free. Collins just gave Silvani a bit of a head massage.
Yep, he did.
He's got the real prison pill going, Collins, too, hasn't he? Yep. That's a number 1 he's rolling with. So Serge's boy has got it about 35 around. He's outside the field of play, but he's on the right side if you're a right footer for a banana, a snap, in fact, to come back, but he hasn't given enough air and hasn't started it wide enough. It's a behind. So 3-3-21, 2-6-18, Triple M Beacon trade scoreboard.
Wearing the shin guard today, Jackson Varney as well, just preparing for the good ruck duties. We're coming his way today. Sharing a bit of that. Ball kick out wide. Jones did well to spoil it towards the boundary line. Should get over. No, it doesn't. Gold Coast keep it alive. They did really well in the end. Now an opportunity here for Ainsworth. Ainsworth goes wide and finds Sexton. I bet you he kicks it. The kick goes forward here. Good ball. Smart taken here by Jeffrey. Now, Jeffrey has marked it on the boundary line, 45 metres out, but he is right on the boundary line, and he's not looking or considering any other option.
Look at that setup.
Yes.
What is that? It's sort of a half mullet, half mohawk.
With a bit of skunk.
With a bit of skunk in it.
Bit of fluffy tennis ball look on the back.
Yes.
Good grab, though. What about the elevation? Straight up, plucked it.
So here he is. He's in game 2. Hasn't kicked a career goal yet. So this is why he wanted to have an opportunity to go for it. Kick on the way. He's got to come back a lot, and it won't. So it'll fall way, way short. Carlton defended on the end of the goal square, but now they're under some danger here. Picked up in the end by Sexton, and we'll have a ball up deep in the Gold Coast forward 50.
Trailed by 3 points, Gold Coast in this game after being appalling last week against Melbourne. Work to the front. Walsh has it held in, and another ball up.
Zach, Tom, same again. Clear, guys.
Smith, De Koning, McPherson, boot to ball, misses, are behind. 3 goals, 3-21 Carlton, 2-7-19 Gold Coast Beacon trade scoreboard.
So that's 21 plays 18. An interception here by Sexton. He intercepted it, brought the ball down. He tried to handball it to himself. I think. Little handball from Walsh. Out wide. Got it there, and he was caught in the tackle. Was Burgess. Ripped down, and Carlton got the free, but they take the advantage and go very wide and find Walsh. It'll be down the field here. I think it'll be a Sam Walsh free on half-back as the umpire deals with that little free ball. Short ball up to Mackay, who presented up nicely, but he's a long, long way up the ground. He's basically at half-back. His little kick needed a little bit more air, but in the end, it was made look good by Dow.
Clear out, please. Time on.
Or is it?
Might be Honey on
Honey, it was. Honey, the goal kicker, kick 2 in this game, goes wide, finds Martin. So Martin now, neat little ball. So just chiselling their way forward here at the moment with Cripps. Cripps back to Martin. Now Martin long on the left boot. Goes long, deep and high. Knocked away by Farah. Spills to Noons. Round the body, top of the square. And Smith will take the mark on the end of the defensive square.
Big Smithy got smacked too, the big boy. Very, very deep in his defensive area, so we'll want an easy release here, and he gets it sideways.
Back to the 9, please.
So, Joey, we'd say Sam Walsh, got to be All-Australian. Tuke Miller, got to be... By the time we've said that about everyone, he should be All-Australian. We picked 45 blokes.
You got Parrish, you got Merritt.
One of them has to miss out, I think, Duck.
Well, Duck, and you and Daisy picked your All-Australian team last night. Was Tuke in?
We just had... he was in the group that we spoke
Spent a lot of time on it.
Ollie Wines, Jack Steele.
Yep. Yeah, Wines.
Flick back to Tuke Miller, and that's a throw.
Bontempelli.
It's one of those over-the-head ones that they let go 90% of the time.
Straight to him, thanks, Took.
So
there's going to be 18 midfielders.
Jones, well, this is the thing. Good ball from Jones, by the way. Gets it to Harry Mackay. 45 from home, tight angle for a left footer.
This is why I think in the end the wingmen can become midfielders. It's a Jared Healy theory that I happen to agree with. Because if you've got a lot of overflow of great midfielders, what's the difference between wing? It's a midfield position. Come on.
Yeah, I agree with you, BT. So Walsh should be on a wing.
So if you're a good wingman, that takes you out of all Australian contention.
If you're a good wingman, you'll get it.
I see.
Yeah, still get it.
Mackay can get this one bending back. It doesn't look like he's going to. It's across the face.
Fella from Brisbane's been pretty unlucky.
And through for a behind.
Who's that, Doug?
McCluggage. Yeah. He's dropped away, though, the second half of the year. And to be honest, Walsh is playing on the wing today, so you can easily make Walsh a wingman.
3-point lead by the Blues.
Play on. Play on.
Gold Coast possessing the footy here through centre half back. Little opportunity there for the ball to be sharped out by Burgess. They move it inboard to King, who picked it up off his toes well from the middle of the ground. It's a dynamite long ball inside their attacking 50. No winner in the air. Off hands it comes to Sard. Little one there, and umpire calls play on Walsh. Got the handball to Cripps. Cripps over the top with a little kick out wide towards the wing there now. Charlie Curnow was there, but he got outmanoeuvred there. Farrell was one. Let's get down to Jay-Z.
Paddy Dow, the Carlton midfielder, just spending some time with the medico. Some concern around his left knee at the moment.
Here's Jeffrey, my man, slices through and then dumps a high one. A good ball too, looking for Sharp. But it was thumped away from him late. And out of play. Deep throw in here for the Gold Coast Suns. Plowman took it over.
Gee, they're moving the ball pretty easily through the middle of the ground. Gold Coast, the amount of times, once again, as it's been the case all year, they've been saved by some great defence, particularly from Wiedering and Jones.
So the stoppage deep here for the Suns. A very short throw in again.
Shocking.
Townsend walked through and kicked the goal.
Should have been recalled.
The ball was thrown about 8 metres in.
Terrible. And it's favoured them.
Suns take the lead 3-7 to 3-4. Triple M Beacon trade scoreboard. Townsend the goal kicker.
Fair to say that is your pet hate, isn't it, BT?
Yep, it is. I mean, that was just terrible. Just recall it.
It's a big disadvantage for Carlton. Bounced up nicely for Townsend, and as Duck said, playing his first game for his fourth club, he just shoved Silvani out the footy, fell his way, and all of a sudden the Gold Coast Suns back in front.
Yeah, by 3 points. They kicked the only 2 goals of the quarter, Joey. And I won't say it's of any high calibre at all, but it's at least interesting. 2 sides having a crack.
Let's go.
Tight game, 3 points in it.
Rucks in.
12 minutes gone, second quarter. Ash, got anything for us on the Red Z lending stats, loans for the self-employed?
Just the Suns' scoring efficiency in this second quarter. 6 entries, but they've kicked 2 goals, 3.
Triple M football continues today, Ash.
It does. North Melbourne v Richmond at the MCG, followed by Sydney versus St Kilda here tonight at Marvel.
Choice Hotels around the grounds there. Back in the middle we go. Umpire lets it rip up over the top when Silvani. It was a good jump. He got airborne, that is for sure. Fisher will be penalised in the end for incorrect disposal out of the middle once he'd sharked it. And it'll go the way of Gold Coast. So Gold Coast just moved their positioning into the lead here now. And an opportunity. Anderson out wide goes to Sharp. Jeremy Sharp from right in front of the interchange area here. Wants to kick down the line and keep it near the safety of the boundary, but he's overcooked it. It's gone out of bounds on the full.
So Noah Anderson, Joey, tell us about Pooey Anderson's boy. Is he progressing to your liking?
Oh, look, he's still going to be a wonderful player. I think he's just been a bit up and down, inconsistent, a bit like the Gold Coast Suns year. It's always hard when you're in a young side. You don't have those senior experienced players around you. Look, he's doing a pretty good job, but probably hasn't continued at the rate that he was from last year and the start of this year.
Old man, a Hawthorn premiership player, goes by the nickname of Pooey.
It's not a good one.
Not what you'd really want, is it, by way of a nickname? Ball goes inside forward 50, a push, I think, from Jeffrey, and it'll end up with Jones.
Yeah, the first question you asked is why.
Yeah.
I was thinking that.
I'm not sure. I can't give you the answer. Universally known, Dean Anderson as Pooey.
Might be Winnie the Pooh, I don't know.
Could be any of those, I'm not sure. Jones goes back. Then finds Stocker. He goes all the way to the other side, and Wiedering's got it at half-back for the Blues.
He has indeed. The chip kick over the top to Newman is successful. Half-back Newman's got time and space here. Should spot up and find someone. Goes very, very wide and making a bit of a mess of the Nunes, although he beats 3 Gold Coast players. Well done. Gets it into Dow. Dow fired the handball under some pressure. Gee, Walsh picked it up off his shoes magnificently. Kick around the corner was no good, though. And it goes to the laconic Lukosius at half-back. Lukosius now plays on with a little low ball. Beautiful kick through traffic it was. Didn't quite get on the end of it. Wiedering is there. His little nymphy kick there was aimed at going over the line out of bounds, and it was smothered off boot and over the line out of bounds. We go to Jay-Z.
BT, quiet start for Adam Saad. Just the 3 possessions and 3 tackles in this one. Got his hands full with Ben Ainsworth. Remember, no Zach Williams in this game. He's out with a hamstring.
I have texted Dermot. Find out why he's called Pooey. I want to get to the bottom of it. Fisher. Forward ball here for the Blues. Curno's had a nice start. Kicked a beautiful goal in the first term. Just couldn't hang on to that. Honey tracks it over the line. And then he and Lukosius do a bit of pushing and shoving. That's not exactly a heavyweight bout. Ball to be thrown in out of side. Townsend and Silvani in the ruck. What is that saying about the modern game? Nunes. Long ball to half forward. De Koning.
I reckon Brandon Ellis has done a hamstring or something there.
Should go back. He's now called to go. I'm not sure why he did that, and that's holding the ball. Keep going, Bristol.
Jay-Z is going down the race. The medical sub's warming up, and he looks very disappointed, Alice.
I think you're spot on, Brian. He's a dejected man going down the race with the doctor shaking his head, hands on hips. I think you're right. He could be done for the day here.
Yeah, it's interesting that I picked that up, Jay-Z, and boy, you're doing some specials, C-bus style. Keep an eye on those injuries. Out wide. High one taken there, and Swallows got it on centre wing. Looks back inside, nothing there, all checked. Swallow's going to have to go long. Does. So at the moment, Gold Coast in front by 3 points. High ball up, they fly, no winner in the air, off hands. Gold Coast got their hands on it here. Ball comes to Jones of Carlton. Got it to Kennedy. Kennedy had to kick it straight away around the corner. Got it out of the immediate danger zone. Farah there punches it towards the boundary and goes over the line out of bounds. Half forward for Gold Coast once again.
Jacob, are you up?
Why wouldn't De Koning go back and kick a goal there, by the way? Take a mark 50 out or 48 out.
Yeah.
Surely that is worthy of a set shot look in the duck.
It certainly is.
Big, powerful young man.
Yep.
So ball in out of side. No goals as yet in this second term for the Blues. Gold Coast have kicked a couple. Nunes. Former teammate of Joey Montagna gives it to Fisher. He goes looking for Silvani. Good mark.
Was it last week that Koning missed most of the game where he came off?
Yeah, it was against St Kilda.
Yeah.
Yep.
Short, low bullet for Mackay. Long way from home. Big Harry.
You roll into one when you do 3 or 4 games a weekend.
And he goes again with a similar ball. This is for Charlie Curnow. Gets it and goes outside 50. That's nice. Eddie Betts takes it about 20 out. Very nice low bullet for Betts.
Yeah, beautiful ball movement. Got into the hands of their 3 stars. Mackay was a long way from goal, but he found Charlie Curnow, who worked hard to get the space, and then another beautiful kick.
First touch for Eddie.
15 gone.
Should goal from here. Can see a lot of the goal face. Only about 20 out. Looks like he's going to go with the drop punt, Eddie, and he slots it. Blues first of the second term. 4-4-28. Suns 3-7-25. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Jay-Z, it looks like the medical sub is happening.
Yeah, he's spot on, BT. Change. Jack Bowes on. High draft pick, silky midfielder Brandon Ellis looks absolutely devastated. Another injury. Season over for the gun defender.
Yeah, he's just come off a hamstring, Jay-Z. He's missed a couple, I think, with that hamstring, hasn't he?
Still shaking his head. Looks absolutely shattered by this, BT.
Come back a little bit early. Was going quite well today. So Betts puts the Blues back in front here by 3 points.
Just looking at the Harvey Norman replay, BT, on Eddie kicking that ball. The ball didn't drop exactly perfect, but has the skill to correct while it's dropping not perfect. That's the sort of player he is. He has great instinct. As we have a look at the Harvey Norman, and Brandon Ellis looks dejected.
Hamstring this time of year. What a nightmare.
Nelly looks like he's going to win the golf.
Not that bad.
JB as well.
Well, you think give an early finish.
2 games to go.
Look at Joey.
If you're playing finals for JB, it's probably a bit worse.
Up on the coast, coming out of lockdown.
Have a listen to these two.
Duck and I were both thinking the same thing.
I would have thought perfect timing.
Come on, you two.
All up, Smith. Little one, he can organise the Triple A. Get stuck into that, organise airfares and the whole thing. Here's Silvani. Little kick out the back door. Silvani did well under pressure. Brilliant fighting stuff from Jack Silvani. And they've kicked a couple in a row to back up the 2 Gold Coast goals in a row. And now 34 plays 24. 5-4-34, 3-7-25. Blues in front on the Beacon Trade scoreboard.
And that's what I think. And this is where Jack's game's improved. I mean, he slipped over there, looking at the Harvey Norman, slipped over, dropped the mark, but then just stayed in the contest. He scraps and fights just like his dad used to. You know, he'd do absolutely anything to win the contest, and that's what he did. 3 efforts. Not all of them good ones, but invariably got the goal.
Just with Matty Rowley's first 4 games of his career, he was averaging 21 disposals. In fact, polled 9 Brownlow votes, just the 3 handballs to date.
And how tight are the shorts and how high are they? Is it a record?
He needs to get them lowered.
Ash?
It is a record, an official record, since we've been collecting this data since 1897.
There's real need for circulation down there, and there's none happening with those shorts. As Lukosius brings it towards our broadcast side here, Stocker wins it ground level. Poor handball back to Curnow, but he gets around the corner and works to Walsh. Now Dow runs into, I think it might have been Ballard in the end. Walsh can't get through. That should have been holding the ball, not paid. Dow, he couldn't make his way through. It's all a bit scrappy here on the wing. Fiorini did a pretty good job, and then it's broken out of the hands and it's going to be thrown in. It was Bose, the medical sub, who's on the ground and will get a ball thrown in.
Did you get that stat on a defender playing on a twin 2 weeks in a row?
Yeah, I reckon you're on the money, Duck.
First time?
First time.
You've just purely made that up then, haven't you?
Yep, I have.
Completely made that up.
People can see through you now, Ash.
No, imposter.
Into the middle, Dow picks it up and flicks it to Cripps, who just goes with a handball that was never going to work. Fiorini stripped of the ball. They go hard at ground level here. Silvani taken in the pal tackle but walked out of it. Almost a bit of bum crack exposed. And then Fiorini got back involved. Powell, that's all nice. And Ballard can go down the line for King. Wiedering with him. And Wiedering stands up in that tackle and walks out of it.
They're both fighting hard, these Moz. There's no real class to it, but at least they're having a crack here at the moment. Ball knocked down, spun the handball out by Powell, and they gain a clear possession through Farrer, and now Tuke Miller. He's told to go as Sard closes, goes extremely wide. Very, very wide indeed. Now they'll try and bring it back in the corridor. They do. Through the run of Miller, off half back. Takes a bounce. Almost through the middle of the ground. Now he goes. Shocking kick. Didn't even look. And straight down the throat of Liam Jones, who's just waiting at half back for it. It's 34, plays 25 in favour of the Blues. 5 minutes to go to half time.
Wide for Plowman.
Stand.
Just heard back from the Chief, actually. I've gone to both Dermot and the Chief. This is on Noah Anderson's dad, Dean Anderson, who's known as Pooey. And he goes, can't really remember why this is Chief, but he said he and Anthony Condon were known as the Pooh brothers. That's what I'm hearing from the Hawthorn Premiership greats.
It's got not good written all over.
Well, I'll wait for Dermot. Well, I'm sure will give us a more accurate appraisal. Ball in out of side. As De Koning just worked it to ground. Fiorini.
Probably one you don't want.
To Miller. Well, I'm only just giving it as I get it. McPherson. They go forward here. The Suns. Long ball inside 50. Corbett to the back. Unable to hang on to the ball in the air. Now got to win it at ground level. Lays on top of it. Stocker with just a high left foot floater out in front of Silvani. Farrer's there as well. Bose. Oh, well done, Fisher.
Yeah, he did well. Spinning pirouette out of trouble there, and now he's into double, triple, quadruple, triple bounce sort of territory area. Now he handballs on Ed Curnow. Curnow goes over the top. Good ball to Charlie, and he takes the mark. Beautiful kick from Ed to Charlie, and Charlie has marked 35 metres out on a reasonably acute angle here. And he'll line up for his second goal. Third, is it?
Second.
2 metres for me,
Second,
please.
I would have thought.
I thought he kicked one before.
One goal.
Another one. Oh, he missed it.
No, just
15
1-1.
seconds.
Unusual, but 5-4-34 plays 3-7-25. Write most of them down. Here is Charlie. This is a hard kick, a left to right slider. Although he's countering that with a bit of hook. He's countered it with hook, and he's got confused, and he's overhooked and kicked it behind.
1-2.
5-5-35. That's 3-7-25. 10-point advantage for the Blues on the Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Thanks, sorry.
Should have kicked 3.
Powell, bring the footy back in. He gives himself a bit of room in the pocket and then thumps it along. Looking for Corbett in the air, brought it to the ground level. Townsend's there as well. as is Anderson, the man we're just talking about, McPherson. Sharp goes back, and I thought it might have been infringed. No free. Now Williamson stays in the field to play with great dash. Goes to Kennedy, who just had a little fumble. 55 from home, back to Williamson. Now Silvani, inside 50 floater, nothing. Taken by Lemons.
Lemons takes the mark and now plays on immediately, shifts the ball out wide to Lukosius. Over the top, he goes with a low ball, a really nice ball it was, to Ainsworth. Mark's on the wing, so Gold Coast looking to try and get ahead of the play, but now Carlton have got back in defensive transition. Short little low ball in. Once again, they unload and go long. It's 3-on-2 down there in favour of the Blues. Jones knocks it to the ground. Umpire calls play on Sexton. Refused to handball it, went to kick again. Noons around the corner, and the mark is taken here by Gold Coast. Too far out to score, I would have thought. I think it's Ainsworth. And he's going to kick from almost inside the centre square, so it might be just beyond him. Smith points in that away, and that's the direction. And high ball he goes in there. No winner in the air. Players converge. Off ground level. Picked up by Sexton. And well, he got caught holding the ball. Didn't want to handball it out. And now it goes against Sexton in the back half.
2.5 minutes left. Blues by 10 points. Exactly the margin they had at quarter time. Might have a blood rule here. They're trying to work out whose it is. Might be Newman.
Just on Sexton. Ash have been asked to keep on the handball to kick ratio. He's just got to learn to handball to teammates. He plays a lot of his time down forward. He's got to be a giver just as much as he is a receiver.
He's 8-3 at the moment, BT.
Yeah, and those three have been when he's been tackled, I reckon. And if he could just give a little more, I reckon he's a dangerous player.
Newman with the towel over his mush. I'm not sure if it's a beak or an eye. Jose Clark will get your thoughts on that as he comes your way. But he can't see anything at the moment. He's got the big white towel just parked across his mush. So we're about to get this game restarted. Kennedy. The last line of defence here for the Blues. I would have thought you could start now.
Good to go.
I like this. They've just got a set play going. They're going to isolate Mackay one-on-one.
And go there now. Well, I've spotted there, Joey. Unable to hang on to it though, Mackay, but Walsh to Cripps was good. Cripps, as he always does, stood up in the tackle, but that's a throw. And the Gold Coast Suns will take a free kick on the wing out of side.
Yeah, against Mackay, not happy. Time closing down here in this half, 2.5 to go. Good looking ball inside 50, and they're away again here, Gold Coast. Little one from McPherson goes forward, and the mark is taken, so this is Jeffrey that's marked the footy. He's 40 metres out, directly in front, basically. Still hasn't kicked his first goal in footy. Surely this one. Heading off in a strange direction. Getting a little lost as to where he actually is. So, Joel Jeffrey, otherwise known as, JJ, from 45 out. Very little angle to speak of. No thought of giving it to anyone else. There's not been one iota of anyone suggesting he should give it, and he sprayed it right again.
Never looked right.
So it's a nervy Jeffrey here. And it's 26 plays 35 in favour of the Blues on the Beacon Trade scoreboard.
9-point lead for Carlton. Late stages, second term, as Silvani was taken under the footy. Bose on the up, couldn't find a teammate. Fiorini steps up in the tackle and then released the ball illegally. And holding the ball decision is going to come back to Kennedy.
That's why I don't understand the rule. You've got to make an attempt. That's what he was trying to do, make an attempt, and he got pinged.
No one understands it, Joey. I think that's the fair takeout from that. The holding the ball rule is a dog's breakfast. Smith, there's another example of it. He got reefed into the ground and we'll have a ball up.
Yep, it's at half forward here for the Blues. 5-5-35 to 3-8-26. The Blues in front. Smith knocked down. Cripps threw it to Noons. He got upended just as he was about to kick it, and he did not make contact. It was Sexton that got him, and Sexton's won the free at half-back.
Again, he had no prior opportunity. He doesn't have to make contact. He's just got to make an attempt. I don't understand what's going on with these rules with holding the ball. As soon as he got it, he went to kick it. He got tackled, dispossessed. It's play on. It's not holding the ball.
So Joey just having a crack. The umpire's there.
And we saw Walsh in this game dodge 3 times and get caught and not holding the ball.
Okay, it's confusing, says Duck. Look at that boundary throw in. I'm not sure whether we've got a couple of juniories here today, but they've been slightly offline.
Juniories.
Smith to Miller. That's the back. Little kick looking for and not finding Townsend. So this leaves Wiedering with lots of time and space to sum up, and he does go a barrel that he didn't quite get onto in the direction of Silvani. Knocked away from him by Ballard. Ball in dispute now. Ed Curnow won it to Fisher. Fisher back to Ed Curnow. That's a shrug off one. Got caught with the second. Still got the handball away. Beautiful work by Fiorini. Got through traffic. Onto Sexton. Sexton's kick inside 50. Straight down the throat of the Blues. And they'll get it done here. I think it might be Dow in the back end. Siren sounds, JB.
That's it. Half-time. 9-point lead for Carlton. 5-5-35 to Gold Coast. 3-8-26. Jay-Z will be up here taking charge of half-time with Joey, Duck, Ash and BT. 9 points for the Blues. Thanks to McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks Footy.
That quarter for Beacon Trade. Supporting Sparkies with 7:30am opening hours, trade prices, click and collect and free delivery from over 100 Beacon lighting stores.
For Ream Hot Water,
Triple M Rocks Footy.
Built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream. Robot Building Supplies, now delivering contact-free. Visit robotbuildingsupplies.com.au.
It's better than good.
Triple M Rocks Footy on Melbourne's 105.1.
Malloy on Triple M.
Big week ahead, Mickey. You got that right, Dave. We'll catch up with Denise Scott ahead of her appearance on Have You Been Paying Attention? Andy Lee has a new TV show, The 100, on 9 and will drop by, as well as Glenn Robbins, Ross Noble and Lawrence Mooney.
Plus Jim Jeffries from LA, Narrowly Meadows with the latest sport and a whole lot more. Get more in the Malloy podcast by downloading the Listener app now. Mix back Monday Arvo from 4 on Triple M. For Choice Hotels, plan your next getaway at choicehotels.com for the lowest price guaranteed. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, I'm Joey from Verve Electrical. We've just taken delivery of our Renault Traffic Auto. We love how the vehicle looks with our signage design, and we enjoy doing class-leading electrical work out of a class-leading vehicle. The 2 side doors and the rear barn door allows us to get easy access to our tools and equipment. There's heaps of room in the cab. It's built for business, easy to drive and versatile. I love the van so much, we're getting another one.
Renault Traffic, now available with a 5-year easy life ownership.
It's my business, it's my van.
Valley Sounds Festival, November 21. Featuring James Rain, Mark Seymour, Nick Barker and more. Valley Sounds. Wandon Park Estate, Yarra Valley. Tickets on sale now.
To celebrate 50 years of Maccas, we're introducing the Mac family. And with every medium or large, Mac Junior, Big Mac or Grand Big Mac meal, you'll get one of 6 free Macca's glasses, but only for a limited time. Available after 10:30am while stocks last.
It's Gordon Tallis here. Do you need access to your working capital? Then speak with us at Apricity Finance today. Apricity Finance provides a flexible invoice finance facility that grows with your business. There are no lengthy contracts or hidden fees. And what's best, we can pay up to 95% of approved invoices on the spot. Apricity Finance is made for business that works with big business. If you're working on a big contract, call us on 1300 APRI CITY or visit apricityfinance.com and turn your workflow into cash flow.
Open your ears to a new world of audio on Listener.
I actually started listening to Your Morning Agenda with Natasha Belling. Really informative, gives me the quick update that I need in the mornings.
A locals guide is really important, local stuff's in my local area.
I don't have to endlessly scroll to find things, sort of curated for me.
So good, it's free.
Listener. Radio, podcasts, music and news. Download the new app and listen for free.
Listener.
G'day, Dave O'Neill here for Choice Hotels. 2021 is the year of the long weekend. And what do Australia's best regional destinations have in common? Well, I've already said it, haven't I? Choice Hotels. So get out and explore your beautiful state. Whether you're looking for a base for fast-paced fun or rest and relaxation, Choice Hotels has accommodation to suit every holiday and every traveller. So you're spoiled for choice. Came up with that line myself, eh? Not bad. It's the year of the long weekend, people. Get amongst it with choicehotels.com.au.
Robot Building Supplies, now delivering contact-free. Visit robotbuildingsupplies.com.au.
It's better than good.
Triple M Rocks Footy on Melbourne's 105.1.
Shut up. The footy's on Triple M.
Triple M Rocks Footy.
this halftime break for X-Lock Tools and Accessories by Bosch. Extra fast, extra safe and extra easy.
Yes, McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy. We're at Marble Stadium, where Carlton currently lead Gold Coast by 9 points. It's the Blues 5-5-35, currently leading Stuart Dew's men 3-8-26. Fair to say it's a dogfight here under the roof. Not particularly pretty football, but both sides having a decent crack at it, Lee Montagna. What have you made of it? Because Charlie Curnow has shone brightly early in this one. Even though he hasn't had a lot of the footy, he has looked classy and polished and kicked a particularly good goal off half a step to the right-hand side. It was a cracking major from about 40 metres out on a reasonably tight angle. But what have you made for Carlton? They're desperate to keep their finals hopes alive, need to win the last three. But this one is a long way from over.
Yeah, it is a long way from over, Jay-Z. It's been a pretty even contest. Both sides are looking to maintain the footy. They take the uncontested marks. I think we've already had nearly 140 uncontested marks or marks in a half, and I'm sure we'll get the numbers off Chew in a moment. It seems like that's above average. Gold Coast want to control the ball. They've been able to actually do it pretty easily a number of times. It's just for them, their final pass inside 50 has either been an ineffective kick like that very last one from Sexton. I mean, he had a player out the back to advantage. It was a shocking kick turnover, or Carlton have been saved once again, as they have all year, by some brilliant defending from Wiedering and Jones. So Gold Coast are getting plenty of good looks. Carlton haven't been as sharp defensively as they have been in recent times, and then they've made the most of their opportunities. 5 goals, 5. As you said, Charlie Curnow has been the one that looks like he's got the class in that front half, but a real arm wrestle, two sides for me, Jay-Z, that are sort of just, where they are in the ladder. They're not a top 8 team, either of them. They play some inconsistent football. At times it looks good, at other times it's pretty laborious and dour, and that's why we've probably got this arm wrestle on our hands.
So would David Teague be happy with this first half? Because have a look at some of the numbers. And Gold Coast winning the contested possession 63-61. They're winning the clearances as well, 20-16, and centre clearances 6 for 3. So they are winning the footy at the source, the Gold Coast. Would David Teague be happy with that?
I don't think so. I don't think David Teague would be thinking that they're playing anywhere near their best football, Carlton. I mean, they've sort of been able to get some good looks occasionally. It hasn't been overly effective.
Yep.
And as you said, they're getting beaten around the contest. And they're defensively, I think they've been off as well. So they're doing what they had to do. I mean, really, they should be beating the Gold Coast Suns with the two sides' talent on paper and what Carlton have to play for. They're just making hard work of it at the moment. And, they've had one less shot. Gold Coast have had 11 shots to 10. So probably should be in front of the Gold Coast Suns.
Suns were deplorable last week in a 98-point loss to Melbourne. They currently trail the Blues by 9 points. Gold Coast 3-8-26 to Carlton 5-5-35. This is the halftime break for Bosch Power Tools, X-Lock Tools and Accessories by Bosch. Extra fast, extra safe and extra easy. Ash Chua, what's jumping off the Red Z Lending stats sheet for you?
Yeah, as Joey spoke about, so it's uncontested marks. So we usually average 84.5. We've had 115 already. And look, the inside 50s are dead even, 26 apiece. But you look at the Carlton's pressure, as Joey said, on the back of 79 tackles last week, which was a season high, just at 27 today. In fact, they've had 4 less tackles than the Suns, coupled with 25 less disposals. Just some leading ball winners, Jay-Z. Walsh, 14 possessions and 3 clearances. Ed Curnow, 13. Cripps and Kennedy, 12 apiece. Jack Silvani, he's actually the number 1 ranked player for the Blues. He's had 8 touches, a couple of tackles, kicked a major, but he's also had 5 score involvements as well. Charlie Curnow, 5 possessions, a couple of tackles and a goal. And for the Suns, 15 to Anderson, 14 to McPherson. Tuke Miller, his number's a little bit lower than usual. He's averaging 32, 12 disposals and 1 major. And just in closing, Matty Rowley's only played 38% game time. Just the 3 handballs to date.
Starting a lot on the bench this year, isn't he, Matty Rowell? Just wondering whether the Suns are trying to protect him physically. He's had some big injury issues with the shoulder. Joey, is it sort of kid gloves with Matty Rowell?
I think so. He just doesn't look right, does he, this season? He's come back from 2 serious injuries already for a kid that's still a teenager. I think maybe they've just got to be cautious with him. Still give him some game time and expose him if he's fit and available, but just be very careful with him because he is the franchise and the future of this footy club. So they want to make sure that he can get a full pre-season in, come back healthy, mentally and physically and in good shape to really have a crack at season 2022.
Harry Mackay goalless in this one so far. Of course, he leads the Coleman medal by 9 goals. And here's placed Jack Silvani, 1. Charlie Curnow kicked 1, as we said before, off 1 step. And Josh Honey's one who's grabbed our attention, Joey, out of Keilor. He's a rookie elevation and taken his opportunity, particularly with a couple of nice set shots as 2 goals to start it.
Yeah, Yeah, just the 5 disposals, but that's the thing. Sometimes all it takes is making the most of your opportunities, and in recent weeks he's had a couple of good looks at the goals and he's made the most of it. So the 2 goals this afternoon, accurate kicking, it's all important in modern football, and he's made the most of his 2 opportunities, bobbing up in space inside 50.
Now, we like to keep it positive here in the Triple M call. We've got the best call team in the business with JB, BT, Lee Montagna, Wayne Carey and Ash Chua, of course. But occasionally, and this is often me, someone stuffs up, and we like to cover it closely for the Amy Clangers. Amy, who covers Clangers? Amy does. Lucky you're with Amy. What have we got today, Will?
Kerno goes over the top. Good ball to Charlie, and he takes the mark. Beautiful kick from Ed to Charlie. And Charlie is marked 35 metres out on a reasonably acute angle here. And he'll line up for his second goal. Third, is it?
Second.
2 metres forward.
Second, I would have thought.
I thought he kicked one before. Another one. Oh, he missed it.
No, just
1-1.
Unusual, but write most of them down.
Nothing gets past BT. You're trying to pull the wool over his eyes. He will certainly get you back. This is the halftime break for Bosch Power Tools, X-Lock Tools. X-Lock Tools and Accessories by Bosch. Extra fast, extra safe and extra easy. Joey, we're on Sam Walsh Brownlow watch.
We are indeed.
He is certainly amongst the top 5 or 6 leading contenders. He's got 14 possessions, including 8 kicks and 2 marks for the Blues today. Interesting battle against Tuke Miller. They're 2 of the best runners in the competition. Have you got him in the vote so far? Because it could be tight between him and Ollie Wines and Marcus Bontempelli.
Yeah, this could be an important game for Sam Walsh come Brownlow medal night. Look, he's in the conversation at the moment. It's been one of those games. There really hasn't been a standout as such. He's in the mix. If he can have a big second half and just put a couple on the board, Jay-Z, could be another 3 votes. 3 votes. S. Walsh Brownlow night.
So it's currently Carlton leading by 9 points over the Gold Coast Suns. It's the Blues 5-5-35. Currently leading Stuart Cheeseman 3-8-26. We are going to have JB, BT, Wayne Carey, Lee Montagna. It is the best call in football for this second half. It's Carlton and Gold Coast under the roof at Marvel Stadium for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
That halftime break for X-Lock Tools and Accessories by Bosch. Extra fast, extra safe and extra easy.
For Ream Hot Water and Macca's 50th birthday.
Triple M rocks footy.
Hi, it's Marty Sheargold from Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show, and right now, Triple M rocks football, and I'm back Monday morning from 6.
Nick Revo with us. It's going to be a fascinating run home, which I think is great for all of us that love footy and love, our teams being relevant as long as possible. So that 7th and 8th spot is right up for grabs.
I wouldn't write North off just yet, but we'll come back.
Coming hard with a rush.
Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show. Back Monday from 6. Or hear it anytime on the new Listener app. To celebrate 50 years of Macca's, we're introducing the Mac family. And with every medium or large Mac Junior, Big Mac or Grand Big Mac meal, you'll get one of 6 free Macca's glasses, but only for a limited time. Available after 10:30am while stocks last.
There's never been a better time to build with ColourBond Steel. Visit colorbond.com/winbig to find participating builders offering a ColourBond steel roof as a standard inclusion or a no-cost upgrade on selected new homes in Victoria. What's more, one lucky person will win $10,000. Enter now at colorbond.com/winbig. ColourBond Steel, made for Australia, loved in Victoria. Conditions apply. See website for details.
Imagine getting the phone call that could change your life. Thanks to the Royal Melbourne Hospital Home Lottery, it could be you collecting the keys to our biggest grand prize ever. A $4 million fully furnished Matsay home in leafy Camberwell with $200,000 in gold. Who's the first person you would tell? Don't wait. Our last lottery sold out early. So jump online and get your tickets today at rmhhomeLottery.com.au. Permit 10265.
G'day, Howie here. In the latest episode of the Howie Games podcast, I sit down one-on-one with Mad Jack Dorr, a man with a truly incredible story to tell.
It was the first time ever where I couldn't run, I couldn't hide, couldn't walk, couldn't do anything.
From being forced to flee his homeland of Sudan to Madge's mental health battles, this is a story equal parts heartbreaking and uplifting.
I can't wait for more people to listen to my story.
Mad Jack Dorr on the Howie Games. Download the Listener app now and listen for free.
Listener.
Want the biggest brands at the lowest prices? Then head to Chemist Warehouse today and save on big brand vitamins like Microgenics Vitamin C 1,200 capsules, $25.99. Use Swiss Ultiboost Magnesium or Immune 60 gummies, $15.99. Look for Go Healthy Magnesium Sleep 60 capsules, $14.99. And Ostalin Calcium and Vitamin D3 300 tablets, $28.99. Chemist Warehouse, great savings every day.
Dodo MBM plans come with the first month free, so you'll be as happy as a clam and free as a bird with no lock-in contracts. Call 13Dodo or head to dodo.com. $60 fee for modem applies, new customers only, offer ends August 31.
Now you can stream Triple M footy wherever you are. Download the Listener app and select Triple M.
Hi, it's Damien Carbon with your national news briefing. First to Sydney, 5 deaths and 319 new cases of coronavirus in the past 24 hours. At least 51 were infectious in the community and 194 cases are under investigation. Health Minister Brad Hazzard ramping up calls for people to stay at home after police handed out 335 fines overnight.
You've really got to get serious about staying at home. You can't leave our health staff continually to be having to search where you've been, what you've been doing. It's not fair to the community, it's not fair to yourself, it's not fair to anybody.
Well, Armidale in the New South Wales Northern Tablelands will enter a 7-day lockdown from 5 o'clock this afternoon with 2 positive cases confirmed in the town. To Melbourne, 150,000 extra doses of the Pfizer vaccine have been released to Victoria as the state grapples with surging COVID cases. 29 new infections were recorded overnight, with all of them infectious in the community. It's got Premier Dan Andrews concerned people aren't going to follow the rules around the restrictions.
As painful and as challenging as they are, these rules are in place to drive case numbers down. If we don't follow these rules, then we will, through our own choices, we will drive cases up. That's not what we want. That's not how we get through this and get open again. 13
new cases were reported in Brisbane, all linked to the existing cluster. And briefly, 2 Army personnel are recovering in a Cairns hospital after being attacked by a crocodile in far north Queensland overnight.
Save on 4-wheel drive gear this weekend at Anaconda. Freeland self-inflating single mat. Half price, only $19.99. Ends Sunday. At Anaconda, play more, pay less.
Triple M weather for Melbourne, dropping to 7 tonight with a foggy start tomorrow, then sunny and 16, cloudy for Monday and Tuesday, rain on Wednesday. And to stream every minute of the footy live this weekend wherever you are, download the Listener app and select Triple M Melbourne 105.1.
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for IGA Liquor. Proudly local, proudly independent.
For McDonald's and Remont Water, Triple M rocks Saturday afternoon football. The Mac family has arrived at Macca's. Get a free limited edition glass with every medium or large McFamily meal. Is that easy? We're about to resume the second half of football at Marvel. Carlton lead by 9 points over the Gold Coast, 5-5-35 to Gold Coast 3-8-26. IGA Liquor, of course, JB. IGA Liquor have got you covered for the footy season. Yep. Get your favourite spirits, beer and wine. I do. Head to igaliquor.com.au to find your nearest store. IGA Liquor, proudly local, proudly independent.
Oh, yeah. No doubt about it.
Might pop past.
What is your favourite spirit? When you go into IGA Liquor, I always look for Baileys. I'm a Baileys person.
Baileys late at night, Bristol.
Just a Baileys on the rocks.
On the as you head to bed.
Just a little sleeper.
Very nice. Yeah. Very nice.
What about you, Duck? You might be a sort of you might be a sort of Bacardi, sort of bit rough and ready.
Spirit? No, I'm not really a spirit drinker.
JB, I know you're.
I'm a wine man.
Wine,
wine, and the beautiful wine at IGA Liquor. You can get great selection there. Well, this game could do with getting better, Joey. Let's be brutally honest. We call it as it is. At Triple M, we don't say something's good if it isn't.
No, you're right, JB. We hoped for something a bit better. We thought maybe we could have something out of the box, but no, we've probably got what we were hoping we weren't going to get. A bit of a low-scoring dour affair. As BT did call, though, at least it is still interesting. Either side could still win it, and that's the fascinating part, particularly for Carlton if they drop this one.
Have the Gold Coast Suns got the nucleus of something that could work in the next 40 games?
I am still concerned. I'm not sold about their young talent yet. I know we know there's a few of them that can certainly play, but I mean, even guys like Jack Bowes starting as a sub today, he should be at that level now where he's a star of the competition. Isaac Rankin getting dropped again. Lukosius has still, got some talent but doesn't put it together. I'm still a bit concerned that this group is going to necessarily really spike in the next 2 seasons.
So if you're sitting as a commissioner of the AFL with the senior management team, you've got to be concerned with the fact that this joint is, you could argue, going backwards.
Yes, that's correct.
And it can't go very far further back.
That's correct.
Concern for me,
they haven't gone forward anyway since they've been in the competition.
Concern for me is players have let go that have gone to other clubs and performed really, really well.
Yes, and that's my point. The guys that should be like Jack Bowes and Braden Fiorini and Will Brodie, guys that are in their prime now, 23, 24, why aren't they bona fide stars of the competition? What's holding them back from being as good as their talent when they got drafted is showing? And that's the frustration for me. I just don't know why they all can't put it together. I mean, Braden Ainsworth's been dropped.
I'll tell you
Sexton's been dropped.
If you go to school, Joey, and you don't have a teacher in your classroom, you won't learn.
So, have they had anything close to a winning season, Ash, in their history?
Yeah, when Gary Ablett was carrying it for that season.
Guy McKenna's last 2 seasons as coach, 10 wins back in 2014. That was his last
year.
That was Gary Ablett, yeah.
Yeah, and the year before, 8 wins. They're their 2
So that's
highest.
as close as they've got to
spot on
a winning season. In other words, you win more games than you lose.
What would you have been like, Joey, if you were in the science room and there was no teacher sitting there?
Yeah, no, I probably wouldn't have fulfilled my talent and potential either, BT.
Well, they've got no experience around them.
You would have got burnt by the
Bunsen burner. Your pen used to go sideways on the Bunsen burner. The coning down, Raoul. Unable to hang on to that ball, and a couple were hanging on to him. And wasn't a great science student, it has to be said. Dow got the little handball through to Ed Curnow, dribbled it forward. Silvani caught behind. Touk Miller's been very, very nice. Again, his numbers, Ash?
13 touches.
13. Farah just bashes it long and high down the line, and Wiedering far too strong, just able to pick that off easily and send it back to half forward.
Carlton.
And a Carlton holding free.
Yeah, the rat or Topsy was always the favourite in science, JB, ripping the heart out of the rat.
And pinning its poor skin back.
Yeah, just peel it back and then find the little pea heart.
Yep. Weird.
Mackay, 60 metres out, goes for the little swiveler. It's been cut off on this occasion by Lukosius. He's told to keep going, got the little sneaky handball away, back to Lukosius. He can do that, handball it to himself. Over the top now, Williamson's there, so is Jones. Neither of those could get hold of it. McPherson won the handball, got it out wide to Sexton. Sexton will go all the way. I don't think he'll get a handball. There's 3 people running. He burns the ball. No one there, so he kicks down the field and finds this man here, Jeffrey, who will line up for his 4th attempt at his first goal.
Yeah, he coupled behind BT, spot on.
And I think
he had a shot early in the game, didn't he, BT? Didn't register a score.
Yes, so it is the 4th.
And he's always hit them right.
He can't miss this.
This is 15 metres out on a
cannot miss this,
45-degree angle. No, he shouldn't. Should get close. Have a look at the fluff on the back.
He can't miss
the old
this.
skinhead sort of arrangement. And here he is. Joel Jeffrey in game 2 for goal 1. Oh boy. They've gone quiet on the mark, they're saying.
There we go.
Kept his first. And he's very excited, and why wouldn't he? So he nails the first goal of the second half and his first career goal as well. And he draws close. 4-8-32 to Carlton 5-5-35. IGA Liquor scoreboard.
Well, the hardest thing to do in this caper as a young man is actually get the footy, first of all. So he's had a few shots. He's been pretty impressive, I reckon, young Jeffrey.
If you're an old-style fullback and a bloke kicks his first, you think to yourself, can I be arsed running all the way down there? I'll just give him the good on you, mate. No, Joey, come on.
I know. I watched Sam Collins trudge all the way down. It's just become a tradition.
And you have to do it.
Yeah.
Well, look, I don't want to pump myself up, and it's that long ago, but any time anyone kicked me the ball and it resulted in a goal, I went wherever it was, every goal. Not just the first goal, JB.
Appreciate it.
Every goal.
I like it.
Not many guys did what I did.
35-32, 3-point lead Blues.
Don't normally go there, but...
De Koning.
I have.
Down and Swallow. Now Rail going to get run down, but got the kick away. Sard able to chop it out at half back and then give it to Nunes. How much footy did you play with Nunes, Joey?
Yeah, played a lot of footy with Nunes. He's a solid player. He's worthy of being in their best 22. He can play.
What sort of a unit?
Good unit. I like him.
Yep.
Good kid.
Righto, nice. Short ball here finds...
Lacked a bit of detail and description, solid.
Well, Marsland boy, same school, played the same junior club. Got a bit of lad about him. I like him.
Goes to Curnow. That was Ed at ground level who got it to Betts, and he sticks it inside 50. Farah with a nice bit of defensive work thumps it over to be thrown in. 48 from home. I thought he was a little unconvincing on both player and bloke. Actually, early.
He was he refused, even though he was given a couple of opportunities to give him a rap. He just sort of...
faint praise.
Faint slap.
Yep.
A little one here from Smith, knocked it down to Rowell, high pants in there. How many's he had today, Rowell, Ash, as he funnels that one out, got it there to the Koning, and a high tackle. It'll go Gold Coast way, Ash.
4 touches, BT.
4 touches today.
Only 40% game time.
For Rowell.
Yep.
Just want to look at the Harvey Norman. Oh, you know, it was Eddie. Harvey Norman, Eddie Betts throwing that one out the back.
Rowell's won the free, goes short and straightens him up a little bit corridor-ish to Swallow, and he goes more centralised corridor-ish. Still at centre-half back, though, Ainsworth. Ainsworth thought about the quick movement of the footy. Does, goes wide to McPherson. Set him a task. Plowman was able to get over the top, knock the ball to the ground. Great front and centre from Swallow. Shifted the handball out to Sharp. Sharp, likewise, just got rid of it in the nick of time, but taken forward in the tackle was Ronnie. And this is Corbett, and he'll win the free.
Hold hand. Yes, Corbett.
Stiff got called for holding the man.
Yeah,
I thought he tackled him when he got the ball.
Me too. Short to Sharp and gets it back. Corbett, and then to half forward. No one in the air. And Newman able to take an uncontested mark in front of King. King's day already, please, Ash.
King for Triple M Red Z to JB. 6 disposals, 2 behinds.
Sard slicing through the middle. Mackay. Centre of Marvel Stadium. Goes inside looking for Martin, and that's going to be a mark. Well played. Jack Martin against his old team. And that is a nicely taken mark inside 50. He's about 35 out, not much angle.
I liked his work rate there. He actually ran hard back towards goal, then turned and came back to the space and used his body really well to protect the space. So did a lot of things right.
This is a guy I still think's got a heap of upside for Carlton going forward.
Jack Martin to answer here for the Blues. And that's a goal. Easy done. 6-5, 41 to 4-8, 32. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
I mean, he's another example of those players we're talking about that's left the Gold Coast, and still think, I don't think he's played any better necessarily at Carlton at this stage, but certainly I agree with you, Joey. I think he's got huge upside. As we have a look at the Harvey Norman and just see that work rate again.
Good work rate, good footy now. He knew what he was doing the whole time. He was setting up his opponent to get to the open side, and I think he's found his best spot. He's certainly just a player in the front half of the ground. He's not going to be a high possession player, but he's one that's got quality and class, and every time he touches it, generally something good happens.
9-point lead to the Blues. Are you all right, Joey? You just seem a touch quiet today. You okay?
Am I?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I don't know whether you're intimidated by Duck or what it is, but you seem just, you're very positive, but not quite. Back in the middle we go. Okay. Just checking out that you're okay.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Okay, that's good. Here's get involved a bit. Here's Williamson. Little one has taken the ground and wrapped up in the tackle. Tom Williamson will ball it up again, just favouring the Carlton end of the centre circle.
Oh, boy.
Umpires today, Wetton, Toner and Mollison. Knocked down here to Took Miller. Got a little kick out of the pack. It was Powell that got the sideways off the ball boot and kicked it wide, and immediately went to a one-on-one contest that was wrapped up by Noons, and we'll have another ball up on the edge of the square on centre wing. Smith doing the ruck work, knocked it down to Miller. Bowled over Walsh, and no ball though, so we'll ball it again. Bit of a stagnant play here at the moment, JB.
I'm just interested with Joey and his former teammates. I might start asking him about Brandon White.
Something going on with Joey today.
Yep. Nathan Wright. What sort of a bloke was he?
Don't ask about those blokes, JB.
Cameron Shenton.
No, don't ask about those blokes.
Let's find out what sort of units a lot of these ones were. As wide ball for Plowman, able to take it. I'm just getting the real sneaky feeling that Joey didn't have a lot of time for some of them around the jointers.
Interesting.
Low ball is good for Walsh. Lewis Pearce.
I think he might have a show on Fox called Teammates I Once Played With.
All the way back now to Jones, and Jones gets it to Williamson.
Nunes is one of the few I really like. So
stand.
Brenton Payne.
Paney.
Jason Holmes.
Oh, God.
Some of these units I want to get to the bottom of with Joey Montagna, former Saints.
Rixie.
That's right. Going right back to Rixie. Good ball to Walsh. He drops the mark on the wing. We can do all this discussing because the ball actually hasn't advanced at all. Walsh wobbles it forward. Now Eddie Betts can flick a handball over the top to Charlie Curnow. He gets wrapped up by Took Miller. And I'm not sure what he's doing with the ball. He's just waving it around like an orchestra leader, holding the ball.
He had one arm nailed, and he just could not get rid of it. He had both feet nailed, so he couldn't drop it onto the boot either.
And that's what Took did really well. He put his feet over his feet so he couldn't drop it onto his boot.
Yeah, he had feet and hands covered, and got upended there, did Sharp, and a little bit of a tunnelling almost effect there from Fisher. So Sharp, he does look like the young version of Bo Derek's son, doesn't he? Headband, Gold Coast sort of operator. Very interesting. Sharp, high ball down the line. Smith will be in the contest. 4 deep he was, but couldn't get over the top of Jacob Townsend, and did take the mark. Little ball sideways to Fiorini. He marks at half forward. Need to keep going here, Gold Coast. They're down by 9 points. 13 to go in the third quarter. Fiorini, short ball. Finds an opportunity, and once again they go forward off the boot of Anderson. High footy, top of the square. Up they fly. I think it might have been Lacoste.
Oh, your man.
Offhand Sexton. Round the corner, kicks the goal. No problems at all. Went for a few high fives after that. I'm not sure there are many forthcoming, but 6-5-41 Carlton. Gold Coast 5-8-38 on the Triple M RGA Liquor scoreboard. I think that's Sexton's first today.
Yeah, that's what he can do, Sexton. You know, he can find the goals, and he got front and square. He went to the hot spot. A kick was sent in from Soppy, son of Pui, and then Sexton was at the right spot, right time, snap around the body. That is his bread and butter. He's been a very good goal kicker for a long time, Alex Sexton. Nice finish.
And what you got was a really good contest from Lukosius in the air. So he was the one that got the hands to the footy. Therefore, the ball drops within that vicinity, into that 1-2 metre area, and he read it best.
Glenn Shivers.
Oh, God.
Luke Van Reen.
Oh, gee whiz.
I'm going to keep finding St Kilda blokes until Joey says he likes one of them.
None of them so far.
Oh,
Jaden Haddard.
Oh, Jaden Haddard.
Back in the middle. Worked down by Smith. And he went and found it, the big boy, and then a couple of Blues found him. Dow never really possessed the ball, and then Walsh walked into a couple of tacklers and was held up. So a ball up, still in the middle.
Tom, Zach.
As the Gold Coast Suns in this third term have kicked a couple, and the Blues have kicked one. So they've closed this game down a little here, the Suns. Kennedy, long ball forward.
Beautiful.
Mackay, hands to it, couldn't hang on. Walsh front and centre, tough ball for him to handle. And then Fiorini took him high, I reckon. So Walsh will get a free kick, 48 from home. Fiorini arguing his case.
Sam, that's your line. Clear out.
Jacob Mollison there talking to him, JB, and I think he's right, the umpire on this occasion.
Right. Don't normally work those arguments anyway. Umpire almost never changes their mind. In fact, probably never. So Walsh, take a good kick from here. He'll kick from just outside 50. Does most things pretty well. That one hasn't quite got the trip and is easily pounded through by the Gold Coast defence. 5-8-38 Gold Coast, and the Blues are 6-6-42.
No, he's not a massive kick, Sam Walsh. That is for sure. Anything from 50 is going to test him. Ball wide here. Gold Coast bring it back into play. And the City side of the ground is the side that they want to operate on this occasion. So it's 38 plays 42. They're within a goal. Sexton here at half-back. Kicks down towards the wing. High-flying effort there where King couldn't reel it in. Comes off hands. Wiedering. Little kick. Deliberate ball to Mackay. He marks unmanned on half-forward. Turns to the boundary. Now goes from about 60 out. High ball at the back of the pack. Couldn't quite get it on that occasion. Honey. Gold Coast got plenty of numbers there. And eventually the handball comes out and they get out of trouble once again from Farah. And he goes with a very, very low, hard ball into the guts of his teammate.
McPherson goes back to Farah by hand. And that's a very wobbly low one, straight to Plowman. Handled that ball well. O'Brien's handball was pretty good. Now Kennedy will go back inside 50. Not a great directed pill, that one, and it's just going to bounce out. 30 from home. Coventry end. It's going to be thrown in. So full scoreboard if you're just joining us. Gold Coast and Carlton. It's the Blues 6-6-42 to the Suns 5-8-38. IJ Liquor scoreboard, proudly local, proudly independent. We've got a boundary throw in here. Mackay getting involved. Not sure if there's a ruckman.
Don't go up, Jacob.
So, no ruckman allowed up. Clean possession, Mackay then taken in a tackle. Fiorini held the ball in, and now we'll have a ball up. Same spot.
Yep, about 30 metres out from the Gold Coast goal here. Umpire throws it in the air. Mackay got a little reach on it, knocked it towards the boundary line, but couldn't get on the end of it. Instead, it was Anderson that ripped it away, and a low ball, good-looking kick it was indeed. So they get out of trouble here momentarily, Gold Coast. Let's see where they can carry it the other end. McPherson's got it on the edge of the wing. Dow's on the mark. McPherson looks inside. Nothing there. There is now. Little one here to Powell. Powell runs through half-back, tried to draw the handball, got himself into trouble, pushed as he went to kick it, still got it away to Ballard, and Ballard immediately around the corner here, out wide to Sharp. Sharp marks on the wing, right in front of the interchange area, gained no ground, and now Sharp wants to go into the middle of the ground. It was a risky, dangerous kick, but well executed. Bowes goes very, very wide, and the mark is taken on the lead.
Corbett, a very straight backer.
And he plays on and misses Ainsworth unbelievably on the lead. Ainsworth got the handball back into Fiorini, comes out here to Anderson, got it off to Sexton. Gee, gave the handball there to King, and King coughed it up Martin, and now Carlton in control.
O'Brien dumps it over the top to Honey, still inside defensive 50. When he gets on the lead, Corby, it's a very straight back that he runs with, and only a few have been able to do that over the years. Don Pike, of course, the original, and then the Goose Maguire, your old mate, had a very straight back, and then Phil Davis, of course, the most modern version. Anderson, inside 50, he goes. Wide, looking for Ainsworth, got hands to it, couldn't hang on. O'Brien gets involved. Jeffrey gets involved. And a ball up, I think.
Gee, Anderson's had 20 now,
been very good.
7 clearances.
Yeah, been good today.
Anderson, the ball up is inside forward 50 here. Townsend taken out of it. O'Brien not quite getting a lot of purchase. It was Dow, almost got hit in the face with the ball. Walsh went and found it. His kick might have had a touch on it. No. So Lukosius
got the distance here.
Has got the trip.
Can't have a shot. Have a shot.
No, he wants to go square, and look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Dart to Fiorini.
And you don't mind if someone, even though he's got the trip, but if you kick the ball like that, you're entitled to do whatever you want.
Off a step too, Joey. So the penetration he gets with no body momentum into the kick is...
It's a beautiful technique, and that's the key, the speed at which the ball got there. It didn't allow any Carlton defenders to cut across, and even Fiorini was half not expecting it. It was such a good kick.
Braden Fiorini
was a 20-metre kick.
To give Gold Coast, a bit longer than that, Brian.
Wasn't that hard.
To give the lead here to the Gold Coast Suns, and he does. Kicks it. They're in front. 6-8-44 to 6-6-42. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. Proudly local, proudly independent.
Just trying to put a little bit of mayonnaise on this one, BT.
Trying to focus on something that's attractive.
Just trying to find something positive, and that was a pretty good kick considering the game we've had.
It's an absolute beauty. Hard to focus when you got Fred Flintstone with his foot sticking up.
I can't see half the ground.
He's got his foot infected and everything else.
His club foot
sitting up in the windows here.
The whole half-back flank's blocked by BT's foot from up here.
And he needs a good petty.
That's me nail that just won't heal. 42 plays 44. Gold Coast by 2 points. They've kicked 3 goals to 1 in the quarter, and they're looking good here at the moment, Gold Coast. It's a big improvement on what they produced here last week at this venue. So that's good. De Koning clearly wins the ruck contest.
Patrick Cripps.
And a free kick off the ball. Patrick Cripps coming in off the back of the square.
What are his numbers, forward. He's been quiet.
Only 14-3 in this quarter.
Trying to create a handball here. Eventually does and gets it further afield. Now they go long and deep. Good-looking ball to Silvani. It was knocked away from Silvani. Spills on this occasion into Lukosius, and he had the ball wrapped to him by Noons. And Noons, they're the former mate of Joey, gets up and will have a ball up within 30 metres of the Gold Coast goal. Mackay just pushes his ruckman out of the way. Cripps got it to Fisher. Fisher around the corner, snap, missed. Trying to score. So 43, that's 6-7-43 Carlton, 6-8-44 Gold Coast on the IGA Liquor scoreboard. Proudly local, proudly independent.
Starting to get some Instagram questions at James Brayshaw. asked Joey what sort of a bloke Troy Schwartz was. Diving back into
Fuzzhead, remember him?
the old St Kilda
Close steel wall head.
Yep, Rabbits Warren wants to know the same answer, funnily enough. So Schwartzy getting some attention as Farah runs away. Long ball here. It's just going to end up inside the field of play. No, even though Sharp took a decent mark, it was out. And Newman. Every time we ask a name, there's silence from Joey too. There's never any. No, he was a beauty.
Either that or he's not feeling well.
Mackay, a very nice mark just inside 50, Harry. No, his day, please, Ash. Harry Mackay, the Coleman medal leader.
Yeah, Harry Mackay, 11 disposals, 7 marks, but scoreless to date.
Now, the question is, BT, normally he loves to run around when he's a little bit closer. That's his preferred kick. He's a little bit too far out, I'd suggest, to try and do that. So he'll run around, but it has to be a drop punt short from there.
For his first of the day. And that ain't coming back either. Not even going to score with that. Oh, big climb from De Koning. But he couldn't hang on. Already seen him take one of the marks of the year.
Eddie behind the blue.
So behind, we are all tied up at 6-8 apiece.
Oh boy! Just watching the rhythmic gymnastics team event with balls, JB, and they're flying everywhere at the moment. I don't know whether that's Belarus or who it is, but they ain't catching them too well. Ball's in the hands here of Gold Coast on half-back. Goodness gracious me. Surely that's not part of the trick. As Powell takes the mark, defensive goal square. He goes. In fact, a 50-metre penalty here. So they've played on the Collins, but they have got a 50-metre penalty which will bring them straight down the corridor, and that's a much better position. Just forward of centre-half back here is Powell.
Come around on your line.
So Powell, just thought it was Belarus, but it's Australia.
No.
In the six-ball rhythmic ball contest, as Powell goes low and hard towards centre-half forward, overrun there by Walsh, didn't really have a chance of getting hold of it in the end. Newman muscled the handball out here to De Koning. De Koning got rid of it to Stocker. Stocker a bounce, centre wing, chiselling ball. Mackay needs to get the Dukes out, couldn't reel it in. Fisher, quick thinking, got it to Stocker, advantage paid. Stocker now on the left, has another go. This time Eddie got it too high on him as well. Punched away. Gold Coast do a good job. Miller
gets it to Anderson, who has a bounce out of side. Measures a ball to Corbett, which was good. He's got it on the wing. See if we can get some momentum into this game. Corbett, short one. Ainsworth. Back to Anderson. Wants to keep going. Rowell, just outside 50. Left foot ball inside 50. Sharp in from the side, couldn't get there. Newman able to control that. And not a great handball to Joey's man Nunes. And then back to Newman. Beautiful there for Ed Curnow. His brother's out the back. He gets it to him. 2 kicks from home. He's got Harry running on. Goes further afield with a ball into the pocket. Well steered to Honey. And he's about 35, 40 from home, but tight angle.
Yeah, Gold Coast had a perfect chance at the other end. They had 3 inside 50s, but the kick from Rao just went in between. Newman did well to come off his man, and the quick turnover now sets up Honey.
And doesn't it make a difference if you've got a key position player like Charlie Curnow that can not only kick goals but use it the way he uses it?
Got 2 already, Honey. This will be a very good goal if he can slot this. It's on the way, and it's across the face, and again, De Koning. But this time, an unrealistic attempt.
I thought it was.
Why is that nearly marked it?
I don't know.
I'm not sure. Jay-Z, what do you got?
I tell you what, it's a big last quarter coming up for the Carlton Football Club. Paula 2 weeks ago against North Melbourne, thumped in that game. Much better against St Kilda. Geez, Carlton fans be frustrated by this inconsistency.
Gee, you've got a degree of excitement in your voice, Jay-Z. Is this,
can smell a story.
Is this a story brewing here? Give us more detail. Any more detail?
Oh, certainly. We know the Carlton Football Club is being forensically reviewed at the moment, and this is the sort of up and down, which is really...
But hasn't that review been handed in?
Yeah.
I still think that is being completed as we speak, Brian.
Last bit of paragraph down the bottom, just see what happens.
What's it called at the end?
Conclusion.
Conclusion. I thought there was a better word, JB. You're the educated amongst us than conclusion, the end of the story.
The end of the story is normally a full stop.
The full stop?
Exactly.
Oh, maybe I forgot the full stop. Ball shot to Burgess. Burgess goes low, hard and wide.
What are you meant to say there, Jinx?
Finds Sexton.
Snap.
Sexton plays on. 70 metres out, goes inside 50, searching for something. Gold Coast looking dangerous here and over the line, out of bounds. And Jay-Z just letting
smelling something.
Smelling it, even though it's a tight, really close game. Anyone's game at the moment. In fact, it's level.
Level, and just the news hound that he is, Jay-Z. He's got the nostrils flared. Ball in here.
Gee, come on, Jay-Z.
In the forward half for Gold Coast, Big Smithy again, clean possession, but couldn't find someone by hand. Walsh, end on end to the centre of the ground. Foot race now, leading his pal. And he controlled it wide to Anderson. Missed him, though, by foot. Ainsworth came in. Farah. And back to Anderson.
Stand. Play on. I'm here.
He goes all the way back to Powell, half back.
Outside 5.
And now back to Anderson. So a whole lot of uncontested possession, but the ball hasn't actually travelled.
You, mate.
Through the middle, Anderson. That's better. Rowell, Miller.
You, yep.
And this time the big man, Smith, comes steaming out of the goal square and takes a mark 35 from home directly in front. Big Smithy, Big Zach.
Well, good to see Smith put the pressure back on De Koning, because he's been down the other end of Koning he's nearly taken 2 big marks on the goal line, but he's pushed forward and led up nicely to that footy. And I know I asked you a tricky one before, man, but this man, has ever been a guy that started and then went to another club and then came back like he has? Chris Tarrant.
Yeah.
Okay. There's one.
All right, so Zach Smith.
Never ask a question you don't know the answer.
From the set shot, and that looks nice and straight. It's there. So, the Suns are starting to pour some pressure on the Blues here. 6-8-44, Suns 7-8-50. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
And Noah Anderson involved a couple of times again. Sorry, Duck. And every time they change the angles and come back through the corridor, they've really tested Carlton's defence.
I've just Paul Salmon, Justin Murphy.
So there've been a few.
Not that many.
You know the end of the book. I think it could have been the summary.
Corey
JB.
McKenna.
Okay, so
like the summary. In summary.
Right.
Yeah,
I get what you're trying to say.
So this is where.
So it's not the end of it. It's actually summarising the whole review.
Yeah, it's a one-page summary.
Right. Wouldn't have thought you'd needed that right at the end of the.
Well, anyway, it's a 4-goal to 1 quarter
review
for the Gold Coast, and it's quiet. Back to the middle we go. I'll tell you what, Gold Coast have just starting to get things rolling here at the moment. Rowell in there. Kennedy had to work hard for the Blues, but he didn't win the footy. Rowell working harder than anybody else. Rolled the ball in favour of Tuke Miller. Threaded the needle, got through traffic, gave it on to Fiorini. He got it inside 50. The lead there, and the mark is paid to the big fella in Swallow, who's not that big. And Swallow has got it here about 45 metres out on a 45-degree angle. So this, Ash, for the 5th Gold Coast goal of the quarter, and to put them 2 goals up.
And it'd be their biggest lead as well, BT.
Dave, 2 metres over, please.
Thank you, Ash.
Thank you. One more.
There's Swallow.
15 gone.
Setting the angle. 15 gone, you heard the umpire. Comfortable range for him. What do we got? 1:25 before 3-quarter time. In he comes. Swallow kick on the way. Didn't quite strike it the way he'd wanted across the face of goal and a minor score. So 6-8-44 Carlton, 7-9-51 Gold Coast. IGA Liquor scoreboard, proudly local, proudly independent.
Newman to bring it in. So we come to these games where we often sort of try and find a storyline out of them, Ash, and the big storyline we thought, or maybe even hoped out of this one, would be Mackay at one end, King at the other end. Yeah. 2 emerging big power forwards, or exciting forwards anyway. So talk us through their days, please.
Well, firstly, combined 2 behind. So
come on.
Harry Mackay scoreless, JB, and King 7 disposals and just 2 behind.
Cannot get him involved in the game at all.
Now the ball movement from both sides hasn't helped, has it?
Walsh just has to rip it around the body and try and find someone forward of the ball. Unable to do that. Gold Coast just look like they got a little more pep in their step at the moment than the Blues. Tuke Miller.
And he's played a part in it. Miller.
Big quarter.
Yeah, and he gets them in important positions. And look at this. Oh, turnover.
Kennedy read it well. It was on track for Lukosius.
Yes, it was.
And it was turned over. So we've got 30 seconds left, BT.
7-point lead with the Gold Coast here. That's in the 3rd quarter. Kick down the line here looking for Walsh, who got taken there by Miller, and he's taken the mark anyway. So Walsh is almost on the wing here. Trying to just hug the boundary line as they process the ball down the line. High ball to Charlie Curnow. Underneath the footy, out the back door to Lemons. Here's the ball to Farah. Farah goes down the line, touch ball right in front of the interchange gates. We'll have a boundary throw in. So we've got 4 seconds left, though there will be no further score. It will be a Gold Coast 5-point margin here at three-quarter time. Boundary umpire right in between the interchange gates here. Those interchange stewards still sitting in the plastic chairs unnecessarily on the ground. And the siren sounds. So three-quarter time, Gold Coast 7-9-51. Good quarter, 4 goals in it. To Carlton, just the 1 goal, 6-8-44. That is a 7-point margin in favour of the Gold Coast Suns. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks football.
That quarter for IGA Liquor. Proudly local, proudly independent.
For Macca's 50th birthday,
Triple M rocks footy.
The Mac family has arrived at Macca's. Get a free limited edition glass with every medium or large Mac family meal.
Every Victorian AFL team has said no to sports gambling sponsorship. Together, we can make sure kids get to love the game, not the odds. Triple M rocks footy on Melbourne's 105.1.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
G'day, it's Nathan Brown. G'day, it's Daisy Thomas. Straight after this game, Triple M rocks footy.
Join the Tempur Mattress call team for the Tigers and Roos.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
To celebrate 50 years of Macca's, we're introducing the Mac family. And with every medium or large Mac Junior, Big Mac or Grand Big Mac meal, you'll get one of 6 free Macca's glasses, but only for a limited time. Available after 10:30am while stocks last.
Experience the best at Harvey Norman. There's an HP laptop for everyone. Great all-rounder, the 14-inch HP, now $422. For an on-the-go workstation, get the HP 15-inch laptop. Only $794, save $200. Work, play, and create faster with the HP laptop powered by an 11th Gen Intel Core i7 processor. $1,298, save $300. Experience the best at Harvey Norman.
Ever wondered why animals who live underground evolved so differently to those living on the surface?
Below ground, it's impossible to see anything, so eyes are of no use. The animals do, however, have a special sense organ all of their own. It's unlike anything else developed by any other animal.
Learn more about the world around you in the BBC audio series David Attenborough's Life Stories. Now on Listener. Download the app and listen for free.
Listener.
The Volvo XC40 is the stylishly compact Scandinavian SUV designed for the city. And it's Drive Car of the Year 2021. Best small luxury SUV. Judge for yourself and visit your local Volvo dealer today. Volvo.
Without your voice box, you can't swim at the beach. You can't taste or smell the same. You can't breathe or laugh the way you always have. You can't blow out your birthday candles. You can't shout for your team anymore. You couldn't even speak.
Without some kind of aid, like this.
Your voice box is one of the things that smoking can take away from you.
Wherever you are on your quitting journey, Quit is here to help.
Introducing Zammy Pet Senior Support Supplements for Dogs. Great tasting breakable chews with omega-3 and turmeric to help support eye, heart and brain health. Sometimes a dog's diet isn't enough, and when it isn't, Zammy Pet Senior Support helps them keep that Zammy zip for longer. Now available in pet specialty stores and online. Always read the label, use only as directed.
Jess stands out at school for all the wrong reasons. She's the one standing alone in the uniform that doesn't fit, with shoes that are falling apart. She's the girl carrying her books in an old plastic bag. Jess just wants to fit in at school, but it's hard when her family's living in poverty. You can help children like Jess get the school essentials and learning support they need by becoming a sponsor through the Smith family. Please, sponsor an Australian child today. Search the Smith family.
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Beacon Trade. Supporting Sparkies with 7:30am opening hours, trade prices, click and collect and free delivery from over 100 Beacon lighting stores.
Three-quarter time here. It's the Gold Coast by 7.79 to Carlton 6-8 Duck. And Joey Montagna.
Yeah, well, it's all up to the Blues now. I mean, there is big talk, and I'm sure Jay-Z will be all over it about David Teague's future and what this Carlton Football Club is going to do with the review. Well, they haven't done anything in this game to show that they are keen and committed and playing to win. It's just been a real clunky performance by Carlton. Their ball movement has been really stagnant. Their team defence has been off. They've already conceded 88 marks. They'll concede over 100 marks again. And their pressure just hasn't been at the level that's expected. And it's opened the door for a Gold Coast Suns team that are down on confidence. They'd had 6 horrible quarters coming into it tonight, but they've been able to move the ball at ease. And when they've changed the angles, brought into the corridor, they've been able to give their forwards good looks. And they're certainly the team that's running up on top of the ground duck going into this fourth quarter.
Well, you look at the mids for Gold Coast, Anderson and Miller, two in particular. They're at 75 plus with efficiency. And then you look over the other side, and a guy like Walsh, who we love. We love the way he's gone about. He's had a great year, but below 50% with his kicking efficiency today. Newman's been pretty good. Kennedy's been pretty good. But their top echelon, I reckon, have just been that little bit cleaner with the footy, Gold Coast. And I know it's only 7 points, but they really did get on top in that third term.
Jay-Z Clark.
Oh, the Gold Coast Suns, I tell you what, if body language counts for anything, it's the Suns who added all the energy during that third quarter break. They can smell blood in the water here. Carlton, as you mentioned, Joey, this is high-stakes football. They were poor against North Melbourne only 2 weeks ago. Got beaten, I think, by about 39 points. Better against St Kilda. But as you're right, this has been another underwhelming effort from a Carlton side.
Ash?
Blues, 58 less uncontested possessions and 6 less tackles for the game.
Just 7 points, the lead. Big half, or big quarter, I should say, of footy coming here for the Blues. They've got so much to play for back end of this season as Tuke Miller goes and wins it at ground level, flicks the handball to Rowell. And now they go back to Lukosius. Might have been Ballard, actually, and he goes with a high, wide one. Wiedering might have been interfered with by King and will receive the free kick.
Stand, Ben.
They have won 4 out of their last 6, so the Blues. Have they not? Is that right, Joey? I think they have.
Well, they had, and they were defending much better. They were restricting scores. They were playing well, but you've got to look a bit deeper than just the results, and maybe they haven't played as well as we've thought.
And
Jack
ordinary,
Munn.
they haven't played the best team.
High ball inside Mackay. Up over the top there, taken away. Fisher was there trying to scrap it out, and a fortunate kick falls the way of Gold Coast to Rao. His kick is a shocker, low skunker. Gobbled up by Silvani. He's equally as bad, who kicks it out of bounds on the full and gives the ball back to Gold Coast deep in the back pocket.
If you win the ball from there, it astonishes me that you want to go to that spot anyway, even if there was a bloke on the lead to a 50-50.
Yeah, got it.
So, not sure what we're seeing there.
Neil Craig putting a mask on.
Trying to speak through a mask and then realised he wasn't getting the message, so he took the marks down and then couldn't hold the thing up.
I think he had Chewy stuck to the
turnover. Nunes inside 50, ball is good for Honey, who was just sitting in the hole. And Honey from about 35, 40 on a 45-degree angle, he can go back and kick his third.
I see Owi's got left out of the side this week. This guy has basically taken his place as the permanent sort of small forward pressure player.
Got a bit about him, Bristle.
He has. He has indeed.
Mum netballer, dad pole vaulter.
Yeah, a bit of spark, or long jumper.
Uncle long jumper.
Yeah, uncle long jumper.
Yeah, Honey now can kick number 3. Sister netballer. That's just drifting a little and takes a fair bit of the post.
Yep.
So it is 6-9-45 to Gold Coast 7-9-51.
Carlton's last 4 wins, BT, go back to round 15. Adelaide, Fremantle after that, who, by the way, aren't too bad. So Collingwood, who are in better form, they beat a couple of weeks ago. And then Saints, who can be really good. So they're not as bad as I thought, those wins.
Interesting. McPherson, little handball there. He just sort of set something up and it doesn't quite work for you. There's Silvani. Free kick will go the way of the Blues. It was a good tackle by Newman, forcing a incorrect disposal. Newman goes wide to Sard. Now there's no one near him. He's 55 metres out on the boundary line. Sends it to the top of the square. High ball. They queue up there. Couldn't get on the end of it, Honey. He had very little help, and Lukosius did well in the defensive goal square. It's 45 plays 51. Gold Coast by a goal.
That's a horrible ball out in the full. And it's going to come back through Sard.
Jeremy, foot on the line, please.
Looks way too like Lukosius, that man Ballard, and I've got it wrong pretty much for the whole day.
They do look
similar. Sard shortly. That's play on. And that is going to be a mark now to Ed Curnow. 30 out. Surely through the veteran, they're going to get the first of this final term, the Blues.
Gold Coast have gifted them opportunities. They've had 3 clanger kicks already coming out of their defensive 50 in the first 3 minutes of this quarter.
Ed Curnow to kick the first of this last quarter for Carlton, and that's coming back. And he sneaks it through. All tied up at 7-9 apiece. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Where do the Blues sit? I saw the Clangaroos last week, Joey. I think they're the kings of the clangers, no doubt about that. But where do Carlton fit in the AFL? Because you're right, Joe, just the last couple, we know that Gold Coast, but where do Carlton fit?
Yeah, 6th in the competition for clanger kicks, but overall kicking efficiency this year, 17th.
Yeah.
So they fit 17th, Ash.
For kicking efficiency, but for kick clangers, 6th in the competition.
What about the Gold Coast? Because that was 3 ordinary kicks that have opened up the door. They gave Honey the opportunity, who didn't take it, and then Ballard that time opened the door for the Blues. So they've gift-wrapped them the first goal this last quarter.
3rd in the comp for kick clangers.
There you go.
Super special comments. Joey Montagna with us today. Quieter, but with us. And, of course, the Duck is here as well. Ash with all the Red Z lenders. Back to the middle we go. Scores all tied up, 51 apiece. Early stages, final quarter. In the ruck they go. Smith tried to win it down. Desperate they are, Gold Coast. Miller gave it to Rowell. Rowell out the back door, and they're going to escape here. Spun out of it brilliantly by Swallow. Gee, ran a long way. Kick was high in there. Wiedering defending. Got it down nicely to Newman. Newman turns to the boundary line. Safety first. Little chip kick around the corner is a beauty to Ed Curnow.
Did that very well. Curnow. Long ball for Martin. Powell wraps him up. Walsh getting involved as well. I thought Powell might have been held, no free. Sharp trying to lend some assistance. McPherson Miller, really good by hand. Got it too sharp. He's just got to thump it long and hope he can find a winner. It was Plowman off the deck, and that is going to be a thrown-in ball in front of Jeffrey. So half forward here for the Gold Coast Suns. 7-9 apiece, we're all tied up. Smith and De Koning. It's Smith to the front. Miller gets his way through nicely to Anderson. He kicks a high floater inside 50 and a hold. He's going to go Carlton's way to Liam Jones.
So Liam Jones in the back end for the Blues. Very early stages, final quarter. 51 points apiece. Down the line goes Jones. High ball. Charlie Curnow, the run on the jump, couldn't get at it. Betts, little handball to Curnow. That was Charlie. He just took a moment, and the moment was over. By the time he'd realised what to do with it, he got pinged. Handball went further afield. They play on with the advantage, but it wasn't really. It was so congested. Funny little hook kick out of there by Ed Curnow to Charlie Curnow. Charlie Curnow goes long and high. Martin tries to outmanoeuvre his man Powell, but Powell did really well. Bangs it in low and hard to King off his shoelaces. Never going to get it, the big man down there. King with the applying tackle. Got it away. Charlie Curnow again, and it's going to come back. They've set up the wall here. Gold Coast half back, and Sexton takes a beauty 70 metres out.
Sexton.
Nice little ride.
Wasn't it just over O'Brien?
Clear it out.
Sexton looking for King, Wiedering with him. Jones there as well. Now Rowell misses with the handball. Anderson came through nice and hard, and he was dispossessed holding the ball.
I'll get you, Mala. It's all right. Stand.
So the Blues stoutly defending in their back half.
Thank you.
Where are we going after this, Ash?
MCG, Richmond taking on the Kangaroos.
Nath Brown in charge there. Jack Heverin, I think Dale Thomas, Sarah Ollie, and Ethy Meldrum. That's your team to take care of that one as the Blues get it to the wing out of side to Nunes. Nunes to Walsh.
Stand.
Still on the wing out of side. Lobs it back to Nunes, who'd run on. So he's almost to half forward. Now Kennedy. Lots of uncontested marking down the outer side. Now Kennedy goes long. Curnow, Ballard, ball out.
What I've come to the understanding of today, JB, is you realise how important crowds are, don't you?
Yep.
To football and making it that it's the spectacle that it is. We've got a really tight one here, 51 apiece, and that's great. But we are missing the crowds in football. There's no doubt about it. Can't wait for that to all regenerate and get back. Opportunity with the boundary throw in. Smith with a half fresh airy. Looked about 3 metres off the kick. Barely a stat. Ball at ground level. Picked up. Handball comes out in the direction of Rowell. And Rao couldn't beat the boundary line, and we'll have a boundary throw in.
Even a country footy game where you got the odd horn and a bit of abuse coming from the bar.
And no doubt
that's got something.
No doubt it affects the players too. It affects the players' ability, the arousal levels duck to get up. You feel the energy of the game. You feel the energy of the crowd. It does affect performance.
So this is a great lesson for us all that we must love the crowds and we need them. They are a vital part of our game. High ball, Mackay flew, and he almost hurt his shoulder. He's holding the right shoulder, JB. It is not good. He's given it a good solid clunk on the ground. It was a high fly in the fall, and he's still on the ground lying on his back. This is not good news for the Blues. Mackay is down. And it's about 20 metres out in front of goal. The medicos are with him there now. We're going to see him get back to ground. But this is not good for Mackay. I don't think it's a stinger.
No, he is taking a long time to get to his feet. He's had shoulder issues, we know. Miller, Curnow, Walsh. Tackled twice, Walsh, that should be holding the ball.
Just looking at the Harvey Norman, it didn't look like there was a lot.
No, it didn't look on the replay, did it?
No.
He has had huge issues with his shoulder, though, hasn't he?
Yes.
It's been an ongoing problem for him.
And he's rubbing up the top, which is the AC joint.
Could be a stinger.
Honey on the left. And it just crossed the face. Marked by Collins. As Harry Mackay still in the hands of the trainers. He's trying to box on, but he looks sore and sorry.
Stay out, Charlie. Stay out.
Is he going to stay on, though?
Fiorini. Not a good ball for Powell. He made it work. Now Took Miller. Spits it out wide. Sexton's out there.
Stand, play on.
Wheels and goes with a long one. Ainsworth gets to the front, can't hang on. Townsend came inside, just gave it to O'Brien. And O'Brien coughed it up, kicked it straight back to Burgess.
So Burgess wheels around on the right boot. The little nifty kick into the lead, got in the way, Stocker bravely. Did it well, Plowman. Intelligent knockdown to Kennedy. Kennedy kept the arm for us. Wiedering is got from behind by Townsend. Now Townsend's going to get the free. 30 metres out directly in front. Scores a level. Plenty of time left, 12 minutes. Townsend a shot to put them back in front.
First game for the club, fourth club, and normally a very good shot.
Jay-Z, the big fella for the Blues.
Yeah, Harry Mackay just in the hands of the doctor at the moment, checking that right shoulder. You're right, JB. This is something that has bothered him all season, and you wonder whether there might be a little procedure at the end of the season. He's trying to reach above his head, talking to the doctors now. Mark Murphy's the Medisub, but watching very closely.
So we can reel out Stinger.
That's what you want, to come on for 10 minutes, Murph.
Townsend got a good solid workout last week. Comes in, 25 metres goal. So Gold Coast are up by a goal with 11 and a half minutes remaining on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard, and Townsend has got a couple for his new mob.
Yep, certainly done his bit. He's in there for the forward pressure and his aggression. He's had the 8 disposals at 100% efficiency, but more importantly, he kicked 2 goals, and they would have taken that when he got selected in the side this afternoon.
That feels really good for a big fella too, and the shoulder nearly pops out, and then the doctor just gets his finger and just works it straight into that point.
Yeah,
Big Harry's just trying to move the doctor's hand off it.
But if you are the medical sub, the one thing you don't want is to warm up for 10 minutes of footy.
Well, you'd want to get on the ground, Wayne, wouldn't you?
Not for 10 minutes, you don't.
Jay-Z, you got a big one for us?
Oh, Harry Mackay's just gone down the race, maybe a pain-killing jab for him if he's going to try and come back out. Late change in the Richmond game for the clash against North Melbourne. It's Thompson Dow in, replacing Camden McIntosh.
Not such a big one.
57-51. It is the Gold Coast by a goal. Dow's taken out of it. So is Kennedy. They've suddenly got some hunt about on the Suns. There's a ball inside 50, and Corbett gets on the end of it.
Oh, boy.
35 out directly in front. Ronnie Corbett can go back and kick his first and stretch it out to 2 goals.
Centre bounce clearance. That's been really the only difference in this game. 11-5 in favour of the Gold Coast Suns, where a lot of other stats have been the same. That's been the one area they've dominated.
So Josh Corbett could not be more directly in front. Should goal, has goal. 2 in a row for the Suns. They lead this game by 12 points. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
And they shouldn't be able to get dominated from the centre bounce, particularly when in that ruck situation they had Tom de Koning up against Jacob Townsend. So he's come into the side as that forward pressure, but also using his experience and his size to play as the second ruck. Well undersized, but the Gold Coast were able to win that clearance. Quick kick, playing in front, got the shot at goal.
Top 3 ball winners on the ground, all the Suns' way. Took Miller, 28 disposals and a major. Will Powell, 27. He's number 1 ranked player. And Noah Anderson, 27 and 8 clearances.
All points bulletin to the boys at the MCG.
Yeah.
That's Nath Brown and his crew. A long preview.
Yes.
So we finish here, Brian, and we throw virtually immediately.
Yes.
I'm just looking at Will.
Yes.
Virtually immediately to the MCG, and I don't care if it's a good hour.
Big game, that one.
And that they need to get it properly previewed.
Let's finish this one off first, JB.
All right, just letting him know with advance.
Let's not cross before this one's finished. But they have kicked 6 of the last 8 goals, Gold Coast, and they're going inside 50 again. Miller trying to protect the drop zone of the ball. Sard got the little fist over the top. They come bowling through. Newman was there early. Stocker was there as well. Umpire calls play on no winner.
Oh,
ball
gone.
at that level, he's gone. So this will be a Gold Coast free. They're 55 metres out from their goal. Got the ball here is Fiorini. Fiorini looks for the short.
Oh, Lukosius.
Goes high. King there, looking to get into a big pack of players off hands. O'Brien panicked a little bit with the handball. Beautifully kept alive by Ainsworth. Kick around the body here by Swallow. Just offline and a minor score. But it's a good behind. It's now a 13-point lead.
Getting a bit of feedback. Actually, another cup. Eddie Betts obviously went from Carlton to Crows back here. Gary Ablett Jr.
Yeah, there have been about 35 of them.
Been plenty.
Duck, interesting, though, that early on Duck thought he was on to be only one.
Kerno, Charlie.
It's about 50 of them.
Long and wide. In fact, very, very wide. That's out in the full, and his brother gives him a bit of a cook.
Put on the line, please. Head.
For the poor delivery.
David Cloak, I mean.
And the Suns go back inside 50, long ball. Corbett at the back. Head to fist. McPherson taken in a tackle and ripped into the ground. Ball up. About 30 out from the Suns' goal, and if they sneak another one out of this, it is going to be real tough for the Blues. Ball on the ground. Hunting it was Swallow. Ainsworth there as well, and another ball up, and a bit of push and shove from Stocker and Ainsworth. In fact, it was McPherson, but we're going to have a ball up a bit closer to the Suns' goal.
I think the Wiz might have done it too, BT.
De Koning down, McPherson, Townsend, Miller, and now Ed Kerno can bring it away.
Ed Kerno, high footy, very, very high footy. Worked towards the boundary line, caught in the tackle, was Walsh by Sharp. Umpire lets it go. They need a stoppage here just so they can set the scene. So Gold Coast travelling beautifully here at the moment. Ash getting it done, and gee, they must have owned the ball in their forward end or forward half this quarter.
Yeah, last 10 minutes it's been 74% their way.
That's high, Ash. That's very high, little throw there by Walsh, and so the advantage is paid. Strangely enough, they probably shouldn't have taken it in the end. In hindsight, here's Jeffrey. Keeps it alive. Look, he said, "Get out of my way, get out of my path. I need track and I need firmness to continue on the march." And eventually, he got caught up with, and a free kick will go the way to the Blues in the back half. So it is 7-9-51 Carlton to 9-10-64 Gold Coast. And we have got 8.5 minutes left, and Sard's got it in the back end.
Joey, so many times you see advantage taken inside forward 50. Why wouldn't you just stop?
Should always stop. Give the player a shot at goal. Just a rush of blood. JB, people, they see the goals. They think there's an opportunity.
David Swallow had a shot from 40 out. I'm not saying he would have kicked it, but Ainsworth now can go inside 50. It's a poor ball chopped out by O'Brien. A big thumping handball from him. Charlie Kerno. Flat ball inside 50 for Nunes. Going to get closed down here by Sharp. Nunes, a squaring ball. Silvani can't get hands to it. Lemons at the back. And now it's Farah.
So Farah at half back just holds it up, and you know what? They're awfully close in the next minute or two to wasting a bit of clock as well if they wanted to, Gold Coast. I'm not sure they're good enough to maintain possession in doing that, but they're going to have a go. O'Brien, ground level, scrapped it out, looking for De Koning. Little throw scoop to Newman. Correct call. De Koning not happy, but I saw it. And it'll go to Fiorini. On the wing here, Fiorini. 13-point margin at the moment, Ash. I think that's right. With Gold Coast.
Spot on, BT.
Handball comes to Lukosius. Lukosius runs the journey. Kicks to a one-on-one inside 50. Jones defended it, not with the fist, not with the body, but with the foot. He kicked it out of mid-air. Got it to Kennedy. Kennedy around the corner. It's gobbled up and the mark is taken by Townsend.
Did a great job focusing on the footy there, Townsend. So we've got 7 minutes. It's 13 points, Gold Coast. Jones in good shape, but he decided not to mark the ball and just thumped it over the line. We're going to have a ball in.
Jay-Z.
Harry Mackay back out there, BT. Can't raise that right arm above his shoulder. He is playing very sore at the moment.
Stinger.
A ball in 15-20 around from the Gold Coast Suns goal. They lead it by 13 points. 6.5 left in this final term. Smith, hands, got it to the front. Jones just hacked it out of there. Bounces in front of Tuke Miller. Quick release to Powell, who spent it before he had it. And now he is taken out with the footy 51 metres from home.
It is an interesting decision, Duck and Joey, that they're in a position where they have to put their prime forward back on the ground, despite, obviously, he's not going to be much good.
Yeah, well, he did this, about 4 or 5 weeks ago, came back out and actually kicked a couple after he had a sore shoulder. So he has done it before, but he does look sore, I agree.
Miller, maybe the jab's just starting to take effect here, and he'll look a bit better in a moment. Newman. But they haven't got time to mess around because they're behind and down by 13 here, and we've only got 6.5 minutes remaining, so you ain't got 6 minutes for it to take effect. Game's over. But he does and is carrying the arm. There's no question. Lukosius has got the out of bounds on the free fall. That would be full on the free. And he's about 60 metres around from goal. High ball. Anyone can get on this. King was there. How many marks has he had forward 50 today, King, Ash?
Yeah, King for Triple M Red Z has not taken one BT.
Did he take one last week, Ash? We were here with
Actually,
us.
he's taken just the one, sorry, correction.
Okay, and last week, can you remember?
Come back to you shortly.
No, it doesn't matter.
Ball in. Smith and Silvani. Rowell. A couple have got hold of him. Another ball up, but all of this is taking very important time off the clock. 6 minutes left. 13-point lead, Gold Coast. Smith again. Tuke Miller on the fly. Taken out of it. He'll get a free here, Tukey boy. He will get a free kick. 20 out.
Jacob!
Goes back and kicks this, and it is an enormous assignment for the Blues.
You don't want to give away a free kick here.
Wiedering and King just a bit of trash being spoken.
Keep it down, Darcy.
And Tuke Miller.
Guys, you've got the free, all right?
He's been enormous, Tuke Miller, this second. I mean, this could be one of the hard luck stories of the year because Tuke Miller could legitimately poll the most votes in the Brownlow medal, the way that he's going. I think he's got another 3 votes today. His second half chew has been off the charts.
18 touches, 4 clearances.
So where's the hard luck story? Because
when he polls the most votes, he's ineligible to win the Brownlow.
He has been superb today, and this will make it very, very tough. Tuke Miller kicks the goal. And they get around him. Suns come from everywhere. 5.5 left. And the scoreboard reads 7-9-51 Blues, 10-10-70 Gold Coast. Beacon Trade scoreboard.
19-point margin.
Yeah, and I think this is what, and we said it at the start of the game, Joey, we said that wouldn't surprise if this happened as we look at the Harvey Norman. Might be a little bit lucky to get that free kick, played for it a little bit, but I mean, their capabilities as Suns, when they play with this energy, they look like they are really moving forward as we look at a little bit of a scuffle. But you're right, he's had an unbelievable year, this guy. Just so hard.
Next 5 guys, come on.
Obviously, an incredibly hard trainer, BT.
Yep. No,
by the look of that physique.
As a fiddle. What are the headlines going to be tomorrow, Jay-Z, do you think?
Well, BT, I tell you, the Daniel Gorringe, the former Gold Coast and Carlton ruckman, tweeted this morning, if the Suns beat Carlton today, I'll get Stuart Dew's face tattooed on me.
Boy,
got his 15 minutes of...
So that'll be the Suns...
Daniel's probably time to switch off and just let things happen. Operation going on here at the moment to extract the ball out of the middle. Walsh almost did. Cripps almost did. Has Cripps had a bit of a down day by his lofty standards, Ash?
19, only 6 in the second half.
Yeah, boy. Here is Williamson. Goes long and high, looking for something. Mackay was there. He got up one arm, couldn't really get up the other. Eddie Betts funneled out the handball to Fisher. He's a left footer, ducks through traffic. Bit of a smothering ball mid-air, and it's been marked, but touched off the boot. So play on, says the umpire. Ball comes out in the direction of Sharp.
Sharp can go back and kick over the mark, take as much time as he likes. 4:57 left, 19 points. Look at Tuke Miller, the work rate, the gut running to get on the end of that. So, Jay-Z, in all seriousness, what will tomorrow's papers say about this game?
Oh, look, it's the spotlight's on Coach David Teague. It's been the same story for a month, and they were atrocious a fortnight ago against North Melbourne. And they should be beating the Suns on their own patch at Marble. It has been that inconsistency, the defensive question marks. I mean, that is why the football club is reviewing all facets at the moment. And as I've said before, David Teague would be the most nervous man in football. His position is clearly unsafe.
The difference between their best and their worst, Joey, is cavernous.
Well, that's the issue. That's the point, because, I mean, everyone's best football is good enough. So that argument doesn't stack up. It's being able to do it more often than not. And Carlton do it for a week or two, and then they're horrible for the next week. And that's just a cultural issue.
Jones square finds Wiedering, who goes in search of O'Brien in the back half, and O'Brien looked for Williamson and found him in the other side.
So with culture issues, do you change the mind or do you change the personnel, Joey? How does that work?
Combination of both. Certainly it's the mindset, and there's going to have to be personnel change, but the whole culture, how you can play so up one week and then be so poor the next, just is saying something about the psyche of that football club, the psyche of the playing group, and why they can be so inconsistent. It's something that's got to be at a deeper level.
Have a look at this. They've lost the ball over the fence, and the boundary umpire said, I'm not jumping over. And they've gone to each half-back flank, and they've both got a ball, and now they're both running back to it. Well, it's just a little thing.
They like the ones that are kicked in, Bristol.
Yep. They do.
Not the freshies just parked around the sides.
So it's a bit of a battle finding that happy medium there, Joey, then, isn't it?
Well, that's right, yeah. I mean, you've got to be able to be consistent week in, week out. That's some structural stuff too, the way you play. If you defend better, you'll be more consistent with your performance, but also the psyche of the players.
Gold Coast by 19 points with 3.5 minutes remaining are going to win this game. And if you look at Gold Coast, this will mean that they have a 50% record over the last 6 weeks. 3-3. They've got the Bombers in Sydney to come. Gold Coast.
Sorry, Ben, when you give an example of other teams, so you talk about Melbourne for a number of years. Melbourne have been a team that were like Carlton, had talent, had high draft picks, inconsistent with their performance. Melbourne finally have sorted out their culture. They're now a selfless group. They now focus on team defence first. They play for one another, and that's why they've been. It can be changed, absolutely, yeah. Yep. Certainly. This group's got more potential and talent than what they're delivering on a consistent basis.
They have lost to sides underneath them 2 of the last 3 weeks. North Melbourne, the bottom team, and coming into this game, I think Ash Gold Coast were 2 spots lower than them on the ladder, as Stocker's able to pick it up and go long and inside 50. Ballard with a big fist. Betts ground level, been quiet. That's the other question I need to ask you, Duck. How much more footy's Eddie Betts going to play?
It's a good question. I was surprised he actually went on this year, to be honest, JB. And he's played some good footy this year.
How you going?
The last month, I reckon he's really tapered off. Once again, don't know whether he's carrying anything. I would be surprised if he went on.
Miller's high ball fisted to Fisher and then Stocker. For Mackay, he's just got the one hand, but that's enough. And he takes the mark.
He's taken it.
He's literally tapped it to himself with one hand. Needs to kick this quickly. His first, and he's got it with the outside of the boot. So Harry Mackay kicks his first of the game, and we are back with 2.5 minutes left to a 13-point spread.
Well, they've got to go for broke. They've got nothing to lose. So we'd like to see something from this centre bounce where everyone has a plan where you play to win. So you train up this situation where you just have to score a goal. They should have something up their sleeve, whether they isolate their whole forward half or...
Let's see if they've thought about who they've got in the middle. So they've got Walsh, Ed Curnow and Cripps. Is that what you want?
Yeah, that's their 3 best.
Yep.
You'd like to see something with their wings maybe, or how they structure up in their forward 50, because you've got nothing to lose. You might as well get a half back to run off the back of the square and charge in. Just do something to try and win this game.
Beacon Trade scoreboard supporting Sparkies with 7:30am opening hours. Trade prices, click and collect, free delivery for over 100 Beacon lighting stores. Ball up here. 2.5 minutes remaining.
So they've cleared the whole front half of this inside 50, so they can try and surge out the front of this stoppage.
13 points down the Blues. Can they get it out of the middle? De Koning steps around, got it. So they get the clearance to centre forward. Up they come to the ball now. Little handball by Charlie Curnow. Farmed it out to Cripps. Cripps from inside 50 here. Little dribble along the ground. They approach the footy. Couldn't win it. Walsh has got it. Chucked it out with the handball. They're fighting. And eventually Ballard's got it. Ball up inside 50 for the Blues.
Got to kick 3 goals in 2 minutes here, the Blues.
Patrick, Zach, here.
Ball up in their forward half. Smith down to Swallow. Taken in a very good tackle, and that is going to be a push.
In the back.
And might be 50. Because Curnow then kicked it forward. So lucky for me to get the free to start with.
Push to the back. Clearly,
Really? I don't see that.
That's not in the back.
Back up here.
And
He
then,
did everything to turn him.
Yep, and then the 50 because Charlie Curnow thought it was a free kick his team's way and kicked the footy forward. And that is a big play. So David Swallow can find someone wearing the same jumper and the game's almost done. King easily outpointed by Wiedering.
Wiedering wants to go and immediately he understands the timing here. Charlie Curnow takes the mark at the half back. He immediately goes on. Beautiful ball over the top to Kennedy. So they're back in it here now. Little short ball. There's a forward on the lead there in Newman. He ignored that, went very, very wide and ball knocked away. It was Betts, the leading target over the line out of bounds. So minute 36. It's 70 plays 57. 13-point margin here in favour of Gold Coast with a minute and a half.
Got to find something out of this stoppage. Smith and Cripps to do battle in the ruck. No surprise that Smith got the double fist to it. O'Brien came in. Left foot ball. Newman back with the flight. Lots of Suns ground level. Ballard's one of them. And he just thumps it to green grass. Good decision. Sard now leads back in the race. Sexton with him. Thought Sexton had a bit of Sard's jumper. Now it's one of those, like the old training drill, just kick it out and see who wants it the most. Sard might have pulled that back in, no. Ball up, but we're down to a minute.
The old feared one-on-one training. You have 5 goes at it.
But that just keeps going for about another 3 minutes.
It does.
Got to bring the ball back to the coach.
It was hated.
And yet the coach doesn't move.
Ball up, 13 players. Come on, get up, duck. Have another go. Here's Walsh holding the ball, so decision will go the way of Gold Coast here on the wing. So they're home. 8-9-57 the Blues. 10-10-70. It's going to be the Gold Coast who get home here today against the Blues, not against the odds by any mean, but certainly not expected. An unexpected one last night, that was for sure. And over the line it goes, half forward now for Gold Coast. A boundary throw in. Some dejected heads out there already for the Blues because they know 57 plays 70. And that's on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Boundary throw in. Deep in attack for Gold Coast. 40 seconds left. Smith just sends it back to the boundary line and will do it again.
7 goals to 3 in this second half for the Suns. And for Carlton, the questions will keep coming. Jay-Z, when we finish, will take over. He better have some of his best stuff ready too. I think he's.
Well, he's got. It's roaring and rearing its head down at the Blues.
It is.
Lots to talk about.
And we're going to have Jay-Z to really strip it back as Powell. A running banana. What about that? Will Powell with one of the goals of the year, and that puts some nice icing on this extraordinary performance from the Gold Coast Suns. That is a highlight reel job right there.
Well, he's had one of his best games of his career, Will Powell. 29 disposals as a PB, 10 intercept possessions playing across half-back, and this unbelievable finish. The ball just stayed in the boundary line. He was under all sorts of pressure. Reminded me of a famous goal back in the 90s, except that was on his opposite foot. But along the boundary line, that's an absolute pearler from Will Powell.
I'll tell you what, it was well done by Rowell too. Rowell onto Powell, but he's pressure on Walsh.
Wow. Down to you, Jay-Z.
Yeah, Sam Walsh, the superstar midfielder for Carlton, is hobbling off.
Oh.
He has a lower leg issue. Doctors treating him now. This is a concern for the Blues on an already dark day.
He looks like he's in a lot of pain, Jay-Z, from up here.
He does. I think it could be his left side. He's trying to walk around. The doctor's putting him back in his seat. He's got hands on his head.
He looks very upset.
4 goals to 2 here in the last quarter in favour of the Gold Gold Coast. As I can just tell, JC's got a lot to talk about. I would suggest that Nathan Brown crosses back to JZ for 15 minutes or so once we cross to him on Triple M football. And goodness gracious me, the siren sounds and Gold Coast have won by 19. 11-10-76 to the Blues, 8-9-57.
We are the sons of the Gold Coast sky. We are one in the red, gold and blue. We are the mighty Gold Coast Suns. We play to win the flag for you. Fight, fight, fight till we hold out the cup. Run, run, run for the way.
Well, there you have it. It's not a great one, but it's a song. And it's a big victory to Gold Coast.
It's not a great song.
I like it.
They have won their 7th game of the year. They are now 7-13 with a couple to come. And the Blues, with 8 wins for the year, are going to start tumbling down the ladder even more. How'd you make of that, Joey?
What did I make of that? Well, first of all, credit to the Gold Coast Suns. After what they went through last week, they copped it in the media. And, you know, rightly so, they were very, very ordinary, and they'd been ordinary the week before after half-time against Brisbane, but it just shows how much of this game is mental. If we didn't know last night, with what you're capable of, doesn't matter the talent, it matters what you bring, the effort, the energy. Gold Coast has had more of it pretty much from the start of the game. You could see as the game was unfolding, Gold Coast always looked the more likely to win. Carlton seemed flat, they were clunky on offence, they were a bit sluggish on defence, finding their opponents. And they got what they deserved, and it's a hard competition. It's hard to be up every week. We've seen some inconsistent teams, but credit to the Gold Coast Suns. I thought they were just terrific.
Tuke Miller, let's get a piece of his interview, Fox Footy.
Just showed that when we're hard to play against, we can put together really good games. We came in on top, so it's fantastic.
What really drove the hunger and desperation, particularly against this Carlton side who had so much to play for a final spot?
Yeah, well, I think every time they play, they're looking for a win. So I know they had a final spot that they were searching for, but we also are searching for wins. So, it just goes hand in hand. I'm just so stoked that we got the win.
What about that match sealer just then from Will Powell? Awesome goal.
Yeah, look, he practices them at training that often, so I'm not surprised he kicked that. So, and he also floated down from the back line, which is a bit special.
Also the club debut from Jacob Townsend, a couple of goals, and also just that pressure around the ball.
Yeah, well, he's a man who comes in and just plays a trademark game, and that's what we're looking for. We need blokes who can come in and we have weight of numbers, and they go to the demand of football. So, it was fantastic.
Finally, yourself personally, there's actually steam coming off you right now. You've been in red hot form. What's the reason behind it? You're in all Australian conversations. You seem to be a player that really feeds off guiding these young guns, and also your work rate is second to none.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. To be fair, I'm just a beneficiary of my teammates. Like this afternoon, we played a fantastic game, and I just got off the back of that. So, I think I put my form down to my teammates. We have a better team that's playing every week, and we're playing consistent footy. So just put down that.
Very humble of you. Congratulations, Tuke.
Thank you very much.
Great interview by Kath Lachlan.
Yes,
she is a beauty, isn't she?
Good interview.
No doubt about it, and Tuke is a beauty.
Yes.
We had him on the Rush Hour, JZ, about 2 weeks ago, and he acknowledged the fact that he managed to lose the Under-18 Championship as the captain of Vic Metro with the best Vic Metro team ever assembled.
It's difficult.
Degoe and Petrarca, it was a who's who. And he said, I have to put it down to the leadership because he said there's no way when you look at that side they should ever have lost. But he is a beauty, and that is a big win. We might go back to Kath just while we're rolling with Fox Footy.
Good at the moment. Thought I was come in and try and play my role, and we've had a tough week.
Jacob Townsend
last week wasn't what we wanted to put out there. So we had a tough week on the training track, and we wanted to come in with a pretty good win, and I felt that we did that.
Just finally, how satisfying to repay Coach Stuart Dews. Been under a bit of pressure lately.
Yeah, you're right. He's been on the pump, and he sort of hasn't had much to do with our performances at all us out there. So, yeah, as I said, we had a focus of coming in here and having a win, and thank God we did that. So it's good.
Go and celebrate with the boys. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What about that for a debut from Jacob too, with a couple of sausages, and he brings exactly what they need. All right, Jay-Z, where are we at? What are we taking out of those last 2 hours?
Yeah, it's a big story on the Carlton Football Club at the moment. We already know there's a review into all facets of the football department, and David Teague is contracted for next year, but there's no way he's safe for the 2022 season. So you look at the opposition, and no disrespect to Gold Coast, JB, but they were beaten by 98 points by Melbourne last week. The week before, they got smashed by Brisbane by 49 points. So this is a team who had copped 174-point pounding over their last 6 quarters of football. 2 weeks ago, they lost to North Melbourne, who currently occupy 18th position on the ladder. Now, this is a Carlton side who, over the last couple of trade periods, have really loaded up with some big money recruits. And I know Zach Williams wasn't out there today, but the Carlton fan base and Carlton power brokers are sick.
He was dropped, though.
Zach Williams?
Yeah.
He did his hurt his hamstring.
Did he?
Yeah,
Sorry.
BT. Here at Marvel. But the point is, they said pre-season that they wanted to play finals football, and it was all geared towards that, but they haven't been up to it at all this season. So, look, I think he's in real trouble, David Teague, to be honest, and that's not to undermine a bloke or whatever, but they just should have been better this season. And the past 2 weeks in particular, the past 3 games, I know they had a decent result in St Kilda in between, but they just haven't been anywhere near to standard.
Well, as we said during the back half of that game, Joey, it's the ridiculous distance between their best and worst that would be troubling the footy people at Carlton.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I presume the review is trying to get to the bottom of. Why aren't they fulfilling their potential? Why aren't they playing more consistently and better football and up near their best football on a weekly basis? And that's what the whole review should be about. It's all about performance, and why aren't they playing that way?
All right, the Suns will enjoy this. Good scenes in the Gold Coast rooms as we get to Joey Montani with the best on ground, please.
Yeah,
Mongrel Boots.
Yep, Mongrel Boots. I thought they were all Gold Coast Suns players in the end. I gave 1 vote to Noah Anderson, Soppy, son of Pui. He had the 30 disposals. He had the 9 clearances. He was a consistent performer all day. Used the ball beautifully. He had 21 kicks at 81% efficiency. 2 votes, Will Powell. One of his best games for the footy club, that banana at the end, but the 28 disposals, 10 intercept possessions. He was awesome. But again, 3 votes. You couldn't go past him. As the game wore on, he just got better and better and stood out, and his desire to win and his intent is what this club should build it off. The Gold Coast Suns. Took Miller, 35 disposals, 7 clearances, 5 tackles. He did it all. He gets also kicked 2 goals, mind you. He gets another 3 votes. Brownlow Middle Night, watch out. Took Miller, he's ineligible, but he might just poll the most votes.
Mongrel Boots, comfy boots built for long days on site. All right, Jay-Z, an update on the Taylor Walker story.
Yeah, Eddie Betts, a former teammate of Taylor Walker, had a quiet day, only 5 possessions today for the champion small forward. He had a message written on some tape around his wrist which said no room for racism and a drawing of the Indigenous flag. So that's a bit of a statement there from Eddie that the game still clearly has a long way to go. So Taylor Walker won't play again this season. 6-game ban for making an inappropriate remark, a racist remark, and he's apologised deeply for that. But a statement there from his former teammate and Eddie Betts around his wrist.
All right, we go from here to Richmond and North Melbourne. That game's at the MCG. Nath Brown will do a magnificent job of calling that. With Jack Heverin, we've got Daisy Thomas involved, Sarah Ollie, Ethan Meldrum. That is the team that will look after Richmond and North Melbourne when we finish here. And
his name's Ethan, BT.
Who's that?
Ethan.
Who's that?
He's
Ethan, our producer.
He's the Ash
boss.
apprentice.
He's going very well.
He's doing very well.
Are you training him?
Ethan, our boss.
We have weekly meetings, BT.
He told me that he feels he's above where you're at the moment.
Is that right?
He's only been there a short while. That's what he told me. He just said, I feel like Ash is going in the old way.
Well, then, in that case, stay close to your enemies. Is that what they say?
Yeah.
Oh, Ash is now. Look at the body language.
Wasn't he? He got his back up there.
He got the arms folded. He's
Alistair Clarkson, Sam Mitchell
Right.
style
Have a
sort of
look at
succession
that.
plan.
He's going very well. Ethan. He's doing a great job.
Are you looking after outbreaks out your way, by the way?
Well, I might.
Or every
Point
single
Cook
time,
is okay. Maybe
every single time something happens on that front, it's over near your joint.
A couple of suburbs away.
Any
from Point
danger
Cook.
of you sorting it out, please, Ash?
I'm having a crack, Joe.
We're all locked up.
Because of us.
I'm looking your way. All right, Point Cook.
Might move back
Exactly,
to the other
bloody
side of
right.
Westgate.
Well done, Jay-Z. Always across it, done a great job. Of course, Stuck and Joey, the Seabus special comments. Bristle, even though he's hobbling around with a very red foot. And Ash, of course, who is our number one man in that stats area. We are going to Richmond and North at the MCG. Enjoy that. Brownie and the guys will do a great job with that one. Here, it has been the Gold Coast Suns to the tune of 19 points over the Blues. As for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy.
You and Ethan. Thanks, BT.